President Biden's national security advisor.
The president is determined to respond forcefully to attacks on our people. The president also is not looking for a wider war in the Middle East.
However, Sullivan also told NBC's Meet the Press that if Iran chose to respond directly to the United States, they would be met with a swift and forceful response. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A drone attack on a base housing American troops in eastern Syria late yesterday killed at least 6 allied Kurdish fighters.
The US-backed Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces said on Monday the attack hit a training ground at the Al-Omar base in Syria's eastern province of Deir el-Zur and accused Syrian regime-backed mercenaries of carrying out the attack. No casualties were reported among US troops. An umbrella group of Iran-backed Iraqi militias, dubbed the Islamic Resistance, released a video claiming responsibility for the attack. In late January, a drone attack by the umbrella group killed 3 US troops and wounded dozens more at a desert base in Jordan. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
It's even worse than feared. That's what House Speaker Mike Johnson says about a border and foreign aid bill proposed in the Senate. Johnson says the $118 billion bill is dead on arrival in the House, which has its own version of a border bill, one that Johnson says would bring back Remain in Mexico, among other policies proven effective in choking off illegal immigration, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. On Wall Street, the Dow futures down 102 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Many church leaders don't seem to realize or understand Marxism has infiltrated the American church.
Letter to the American Church, the riveting new film from best-selling author Eric Metaxas.
They want to silence us.
It's everything that John 10:10 tells us about, where it's the enemy has come to steal and destroy.
There's a war that's raging.
This is the hour of the American church.
Letter to the American Church, streaming February 8th on Epic TV, part of Epic Times. This film is not yet rated.
Relief factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
A South Korean construction firm plans to pay more than $70,000 for each baby born to its employees over the past 2 years.
The founder of Byung Group says that he's worried that the country itself won't last beyond the next 20 years if it doesn't do more to replace its population. In 2022, the entire country only had 250,000 babies born. Some are questioning the founder of the group himself. He's already served 2 prison sentences for embezzlement and tax evasion. He was just pardoned last August and allowed to return to management of his company. So it's perhaps not so much of a surprise that he's coming out in a big way supporting government policies at the moment.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. Turkey's foreign minister says Russian President Putin will visit Turkey soon. This would be Putin's first trip to a NATO country since Russia invaded Ukraine 2 years ago. Townhall.com. Another quality issue has surfaced in Boeing 737 planes.
Boeing says a worker at its supplier Spirit Aerosystems has discovered misdrilled holes in fuselages. Spirit Aerosystems, based in Wichita, Kansas, makes a large part of the fuselages on Boeing MAX jets. Boeing Commercial Airlines CEO Stan Deal says while the misdrilled holes don't present an immediate safety issue, rework will have to be performed on some 50 undelivered planes. Boeing and Spirit Aerosystems have been facing intense scrutiny over the quality of their work. I'm Donna Warder.
The Pennsylvania State Courts Agency says some of its online systems have been knocked offline by a cyber attack, although officials say it doesn't appear that any data has been compromised. No word on whether it was a ransomware attack, where it may have originated, or who the attackers are. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder. Back and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Nah, it's an oxymoron.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, that it is.
Coming up. Looks like you got a haircut.
I did.
I can see he's had it. Like
coming off the sides.
Yeah.
Yes, and then still didn't feel like doing my hair this morning. I'm like, no, I think 15 more minutes of sleep sounds a lot better.
Nice.
I'm going to do that.
Well, good. Well, happy Monday. I'm pretty sure, like many, they chose the 15 more minutes of sleep rather than combing their hair.
It never ceases to amaze me how if I wake up at like 4:30, I'm like, okay, I've got some time to technically go back to sleep before that little bit of sleep is the best sleep you are ever going to have. It's the deepest. It is like the most relaxing. I have dreams in that sleep.
Yeah.
In just that little window. It makes it so I just never want to leave my pillow ever again.
Well, last night it happened to me, and it's happened to me, I would say, 2/3 of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere around 4 in the morning. I don't know if it's just because it's kind of the coldest part of the day, and so the heat kicks on a little bit more. But every morning, it seems like, or about at least 2/3 of the week, I wake up about 4 in the morning, hotter than all get out, having to take the covers off. And it happened again this morning, 4 a.m. And then I get hot, I take it off, and then I'm get freezing.
Right.
I cover up, and then I'm sweating again. So it's like, so from that 4 to
have you not in all
5.
of your years learned the system?
Well, it's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Simply 1 foot.
Yeah,
1 foot out is all you need.
Sometimes it's not enough. It doesn't get her done. But yeah, and I don't know if it's a getting older thing or
do this striptease cover, just one leg.
Yeah. But I'll do the foot. I'll stick a foot out. Just I've done that. But I don't know. It's just last. I don't know. It just seems like it's not every day, but like every other day. It seems like that. So
just not right.
Speaking of hair, I've made a decision too.
Oh yeah, you're going full chickless?
I think so.
Really?
Well, I kind of been thinking about it on and off, and then call it maybe we'll call it the world telling me maybe it's time. And I was watching TV on Saturday, and Saturday afternoon, and not one, but 2 different head trimmers in one commercial break come on.
Oh, yeah?
For 2 different companies. And I was thinking about one, I was like, that's interesting. I've been thinking about doing this. And then like a commercial play. And then another one, I'm like, all right, what's going on? Why is it all these different head trimmers? I was like, is this a sign? And I started thinking, I was like, you know what? So I pulled the trigger and bought one of the trimmers yesterday. So when it comes in the mail here, once I get it, I'm going to go sans hair.
Hey, is everything okay with Mike? I think he's letting the TV talk to him again.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and it was just...
I will say this. Those, like the commercials that I've seen... Did you get the one that looks like the car? That just is like, that you just like run over your head like this? It's like handheld?
Yeah, well, they all are kind of like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've seen the ones that are like the trimmers. But then there's like the one that's like, it like fits in the palm of your hand, and it's got like the roller on it or whatever.
Yeah, this one has that.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those before. Those, I mean, it seems like it'd be a fun thing to use and pretty easy, but I'm going to tell you this. It is a constant thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Like, you're going to constantly have to shave that head.
Probably. I'm figuring...
Otherwise, you're going to get, like, stubble.
And maybe...
Or you'll have, like, the burr
And I still haven't decided with or without beard. I'm not sure which way to go.
Oh, no. If you go bald, you got to keep the beard. You have to.
Yeah, to me, that's a weird look with
No, it's
hair.
not. I'll tell you exactly. And you're blessed because you've got glasses.
Yeah.
So you've got a natural demarcation line for your sideburns and beard.
I'm going to try it that way, but if it looks dumb, I'm going.
It ain't going to look
dumb. I might
dumb.
go goatee.
I don't see how it could. I guess if you take your glasses off, it can, because then it's got nothing to blend into or whatever. But
Yeah.
I just feel like if you go full clean shaven, it's.
Well, what I might
man.
do is go goatee.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. I'm
right.
gonna try with beard, see how it looks, and then go from there.
All right.
But yeah, but I ordered it yesterday, so depending when it gets here, I'll do her get it done.
Didn't think I was going to be right when I said you're going full chickless. You're like, yeah. I'm like, oh no, really?
Thinking about it because it's a hot mess.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, and honestly, you come to a point in life when you're like, well, I probably should do something about this.
Oh yeah, it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm of the mindset that if I shave my head, it ain't coming back, or it'll come back, but it'll come back all on one side.
Yeah.
And so I'll have just like a bald half.
Yeah. that ship's already sailed.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that so much.
I like my hair. I mean, I like some of my hair.
Oh, I like hair too.
It gets excessive.
I'd rather have hair than not have hair, but I don't get to make that decision.
Right.
And I'm not going to be that hair club for men guy. I'm just not going to be that guy.
There's a okay. Do you know who Peter Serafinowicz? Is it Peter Serafinowicz?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
So he's a British sketch comedian.
Okay.
He had a show called the Peter Serafinowicz Show, and there was this. And it's all just like random sketches, but there was this one sketch where it was conditioner for one hair. So it's designed for men who only have one hair, and so he's just combing it over basically and trying to make that one hair look work. But then it just shows him washing it and coating the one hair, and that's all I think of whenever I think of shaving my head is I'm gonna just end up with one hair,
right?
And I'm gonna do everything I can with it,
right? Swirl it around.
It says for the man who only has one hair and wants to protect it.
When I hear those, I get a lot of images of Looney Tunes and spaghetti. We'd like to,
right?
Wrap it around, or the one noodle that's 80 feet long. That's that hair.
Hold on one second. Let me just. I'm a fun factory.
That would be cool. Pick the Play-Doh hair.
Heck yeah.
Push a little lever in the back and just comes out. Yeah, that would be great.
I will say, it only ever happens to me sometimes, but I was getting out of the shower this weekend, and I was getting ready to do my hair the way I usually do it, but the way that it was heavy still with water or still being wet, I was able to achieve the hairstyle I've been trying to achieve since I was a wee lass, a lad. The butt cut, the Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and it was slightly parted on the side, but the hang was perfect. Because my hair doesn't grow this way. I explained this recently to somebody. It doesn't grow this way. It grows this way.
Gotcha.
So I can never my hair is too light. I could never pull off that heavy hair.
Right.
But when it was wet, boy, I had the look. I was standing in my mirror what's up?
How you do it?
How you do it?
How you do it?
And if only I could pull this look off in anything but a 2-mile-an-hour wind. And that's the other thing. Good God.
Oh, yeah. Wind was pretty rough.
Dude, I thought my house was going to fall over.
Yeah, it was Saturday especially was pretty brutal. Even yesterday was moments of suck.
It was the side slats whipping against the foundation or whatever. But coupled with that, I have a couple of drafts because my house whistles better than both my kids and was consistently whistling all weekend.
Was it in tune?
No, it was not in tune.
Oh, bummer.
It was very haunting.
Bummer. It's funny. Last night, there was nothing on TV that Kim and I wanted to watch. So we ended up watching on Access Channel the movie Roxanne.
Really?
Yeah.
With Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. We were literally just talking about that last week.
Well, she I guess she hadn't seen it. And so,
okay.
Because I was like, do you remember the movie? And so we watched it last night. I forgot. I still love the bar scene. That's still my favorite scene where he gets, if you don't know the premise, Steve Martin has a big nose.
Gigantic schnoz.
And he's in love with Daryl Hannah, but there's another guy that she's in love with. But anyway, So anyway, he has the big nose, and there's a scene where he's in a bar, and a guy like bumps him and says, "Hey, watch it, Big Nose." And Steve Martin's like, "Big Nose, that's the best you could come up with?" And he's like, "I could come up with better." And he gives the guy a dart and says, "Throw a dart at the dartboard, and that's how many I'll come up with." And of course, the guy's good at darts, and he throws a 20. And so Steve Martin's got to come up with 20 insults for his nose in the bar.
And then it becomes the last rap in 8 Mile.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good scene. So, but I was like, "Oh, this is my favorite scene," and I watched it again for the first time in 20 years. I'm like, "Yeah, it still holds up, still good." So, Roxanne,
you don't have to turn on the red light.
And to be honest, now that I think about it, we also watched The Fugitive, the original Fugitive.
Oh, really?
Because there was nothing else on, and Kim had never seen that. And it's funny because and that was on AMC, and that movie's so old they don't have it in HD. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you got like the 4.3 aspect ratio box?
Yeah, it was funny because for some reason they showed U.S. Marshals before they showed The Fugitive, which is technically the sequel to Fugitive.
Right. Tommy Lee Jones, one of my dad's favorite movies of all time.
Because it's a little later. It's in HD and everything. So I was like, that's so weird. And then they show the other one, and it's like, oh, man, it's the old school.
There's an episode arc in the TV show Scrubs where JD watches The Fugitive and realizes that the janitor is the guy from The Fugitive, but the janitor refuses to admit it until the end when he goes, "Kibble!"
The man with one arm. But yeah, so I'd seen a couple of movies over the weekend here. So that's kind of the highlight. I think our guest is here.
I believe so, yes.
Yes, very good. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to have the folks from Change Course, New Mexico, join us. A grassroots organization that kind of follows things politically here in New Mexico and gets word out about it. And especially with the legislative session, they're pretty busy right now. So they'll give us an update on what they're working on. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview we had with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society. She joined us last week, give us an update there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, John and Crystal Noble wearing their Roswell seed hat will join us here about 9:15.
All fresh with antibodies.
That's right.
They've worked through their sicknesses.
I'm assuming they're all, John's back to right as rain and all that good stuff. And even though technically I still have a little voice thing going on, a little bit of schnoz, but it's not too bad.
My friend, hang on. Let me turn that down thing. My friend sent me my friend got really into looking into diseases over the weekend. Just
as one does.
Sometimes she randomly does that. And she said, we need to be aware of, there's a disease that I guess simian hemorrhagic fever.
Never heard of that one.
If it crosses the species boundary, it could be 20 times worse than COVID.
There's something to look forward to.
So, hey, optimism right there.
Some people just not glass half full people.
Let's go find some new ways to die.
That's right. All right, it is 7:18. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in a pretty nice pattern for a while. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, but that's extending down into our area, so we get sunshine today. High temperature should be right around 60. Overnight, maybe a few clouds drifting through and mid-30s on the low, and then we're expecting low to mid-60s for the afternoon high on Tuesday. We will have a little bit more cloud cover, maybe a shower Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 33 degrees here in Roswell and fair, according to the Weather Service. Humidity is at 78%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today and 61 are expected high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sounds a whole lot better than the weekend we just had. Increasing clouds for tonight, overnight low of 37. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 63 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 43 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Wednesday, looks like the winds, kind of like the weekend. Maybe not quite as bad, but partly cloudy on Wednesday, a high of 65. Winds will be out of the south. 10 to 15 early, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, sunny and 63. Friday, sunny and 62. And for the weekend, there is a 20% chance at some showers Saturday night and Sunday, a 20% chance of rain as well. Looks like 60, 61 on Saturday. Looks like 55 on Super Bowl Sunday. All right, it is 7:20. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk to the folks from Change Course New Mexico on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big February run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, yearlings, young, middle-aged bred cows. We expect to sell 1,800 head. Breaking down like this: 350, 400 weighing cows and bulls, 150, 175 pairs of bred cows, 1,200, 1,250 calves and yearlings today's sale. Will include 190 Holsteins off one dairy, consisting of 124 weigh cows, 43 2- and 3-year-old wet bag Holstein cows, and 23 Holstein yearling heifers. 37 bred cows, Mr. J. Houston, Quemada, New Mexico. X-quality black white face Angus cross cows, Angus bred to Angus bulls, 5 to 9 years old. 18 bred cows, Nathaniel Inge, Balmorhea, Texas. X-quality black white face, red white face English crossbred cows, 3rd trimester bred to Angus bulls. These cows 5 to 7 years old. 13 bred heifers, Mr. Kendall Wilson over at Ancho, New Mexico. X-quality red Angus heifers, bred to low birth weight red Angus bulls. 11 bred cows, Mr. Tommy Carrasco, Los Lunas, New Mexico. X-quality red motley face cows, 3rd trimester bred to black balancer bulls. These cows 4 to 5 years old. 272 steers, Brown Brothers Ranch, right here west of Roswell. Reputation quality black Brangus steers. Cattle weaned 100 plus days, 3 rounds of shots, PI negative. 775 pounds. These cattle will sell in 3 bunches. 67 calves, Stevenson Ranch here at Carrizosa, New Mexico. X-quality black white face, red white face English crosses. Cattle wean 100 plus days, 2 rounds of shots, 500. 650 pounds, 49 calves, Charlie Marley, north of Roswell. X-quality black white face Angus cross calves, 1 round of shots. 400, 600 pounds, 24 light yearlings, Mr. Nathaniel Inge, Balmorhea, Texas. X-quality black white face, red white face English crosses. Cattle wean 60 to 90 days, 2 rounds of shots, 450, 650 pounds. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 11:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 12:30. We expect to sell 1,800 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here, you know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Attention high school students and parents. ENMU Open House Spring Preview Day is Saturday, March 23rd. Future Greyhounds can get information about admission and scholarships, meet with the faculty to talk about potential majors, get a specialized campus tour, and win great prizes, including a $500 scholarship. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to experience ENMU. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Change Course, New Mexico, Tracy De La Rosa, Kathy Crossley, and Donna Johnson back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Wonderful.
Good.
The wind's not blowing. So
That's a thankful thing after the weekend of getting pushed from one side of the state to the other here. It's kind of nice to just have not wind. You're like, it's cold, but at least you know you're not feeling your hair just as soon as you walk. I think we need to invest in hairspray over the weekend because I'm sure their stock cleaned up in this part of the country.
There's probably none on the shelf.
That's right. Well, before we start talking a little bit about what you guys are up to here right now, let's give folks a little bit of background about Change Course New Mexico, about the organization, and talk a little bit about how it came to be.
Oh.
Tracy, you're up.
Okay. Well, and I'll just give my account from where I started. I was actually listening to a podcast right around the start of COVID, and it said if you want to find out what's really going on, go to a school board meeting, go to a county commission meeting. And I happened to look at my calendar, and the school board meeting was that night. And it was right before school was supposed to open, and I was the only parent there. The only one.
You know what's sad is that's very common.
Very
at
common.
School board and county commission
Very
meetings.
common.
Yes.
It is, unless there's a hot button issue,
Yeah.
there's generally one or two people in the audience at best, and half the time one of those have to speak at some given point during the.
So I was on Facebook, and I saw a lady had posted about a protest on Main Street, if you don't like what's going on. So I walked on Main Street. I met Stacy Wolkowitz. She wasn't here with us today.
Yeah, she's been on the show multiple times.
She's
before,
one of
yeah.
it. She's one of the chicks.
Yeah, one of the creators, or one of the founders, I guess you'd say.
So we got together, and we got a group, and by the next month on the school board meeting, we had about 200 people there. So we got people kind of excited and working together, and that's when I started working with Stacy, and changed the name from Concerned Citizens to Change Course New Mexico. We've put on events across the state.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten involved with different actions that have taken place in legislation, different campaigns, just different things that we can do to get involved.
It's kind of, like you said, it's very grassroots and it's nonpartisan. So it's, now, and generally, it leans conservative in a way of its family. When it talks, basically, you guys take the values of what most New Mexicans, family values and things like that,
Very
and want to
traditional.
promote that message, and at the same time preserve that way of life for New Mexicans. That's kind of what you guys are all about, and kind of getting back to how you started here. Half that battle is being at the meetings, being aware of what is being passed in these meetings, what your Congress folks and senators, your legislature are passing, and things like that, and that's half the battle, and that's kind of what you guys do is stay on the pulse of things that are going on during the legislative session, getting speakers and getting people and talk and promoting candidates that promote the same values that you guys
That's what's so
are
cool about
promoting too.
our team is we have someone to do a little bit of everything.
Sure.
We've got people that speak the legalese. We've got people that are good at analyzing numbers, and not
Doing
me.
research.
Right.
We've got research people. We've got door knockers. We've got people to do it all. We have people that just share stuff on Facebook or Twitter that force multiply our stuff and let you know what's coming so
Sure.
that you can decide how to vote.
Well, in the world we live in now with social media and the internet and all that, that's how you get the word out now.
a big deal.
It's
a big deal.
And we have people tell us, well, I don't like politics. I don't want to get involved.
Well, nobody does, but we got to
Nobody
do it.
likes politics. I was the first in line on that one.
Yeah.
But unless you get involved, unless you know what's going on, everything that they do affects your everyday life.
Absolutely.
And so if you don't like what they're doing, get involved. Change it. Be the change you want to see.
Absolutely. Well, put it this way. When legislation gets passed that they know is not going to be very popular with the people, the whole tactic is to do it under the radar to
Absolutely.
stir as few pots as possible trying to get this passed. And it's very important for organizations like yourself to not allow that to happen.
Right.
That's kind of what it is you guys have to be the red flag that raises every time they try to slide something past everybody.
And that's how we know that what we're doing is working. in the 2023 legislative session, Better Together New Mexico, with everyone, put out, I think, over 1 million emails, text messages.
1.3 million.
1.3 million from New Mexico. That's amazing.
That's how many was sent to our legislature.
Yes.
That's
That's
great.
the beauty of our organization, because we have sister groups all over the state.
Yes.
And so we're multifaceted. We get our finger in a lot of pies.
I'm kind of curious because, like you said, you guys have kind of spread to where you've got a presence almost all over the whole state now. I'm kind of curious because we live in Roswell, southeast New Mexico. We are a more conservative part of the state than many others. What kind of response are you getting in some of the less conservative, like the groups in Santa Fe or in Albuquerque and some of our more liberal parts of the state? What kind of traction are you guys getting?
I think
there?
I've been a speaker in 13 counties now. I've traveled all over, and I went actually to Santa Fe County and spoke at the country club there.
Okay.
And it was for the Republican women, probably 100 people in the room with me, and let them know about the referendum. And while I was there, I had signs outside letting people know they could come in and sign our referendum petitions. I had Democrats coming off the golf course to come and see what I was doing and leaving and signing my petitions.
That's awesome.
So it wasn't a partisan. It's a New Mexico issue.
Sure.
That's what's
and that's
important.
just it. I think if you peel back the layers of the media and the news and what they the agenda that they're presenting to you.
Take out 2 or 3 counties, and New Mexico is conservative.
Yeah, I think you're going to find out that we're not even that polarizing as they want us to think.
That's true.
They already want to make you D or R one way or another, big D, big R, and pigeonhole you into one or the other here. But most of us are layers of that in between. And okay, there's a few things over here I agree with. There's a few things over here I agree with.
Right.
And to be honest, and I say this all the time, that's how good government always happens.
Right.
When you have all voices represented,
Yes.
that's when the best policies come to play. It's when they try to shut out the other side that the shady comes in. And so you guys just want to make it so all voices are heard and let the chips fall where they may.
And you said it. What we're looking for is representation.
Yeah.
We don't need leaders. We need representation. We need the voice of the people to be heard in Santa Fe. And I think the people have been told for too long, you don't have a voice because you're in the minority.
Exactly.
And we're kind of sick of that. We've got this really unique constitution here in New Mexico so that the people-led initiatives can actually affect legislation and make a difference.
Sure.
And we can do it right now. 2024 is really, really unique. We have the referendum so that we can get bills put on the ballot for a vote. We're not trying to stop bills and say that we can't have this. We're trying to put it to a vote and see what the people want.
Sure.
Let the people decide.
Put it on the table and let's see what everyone thinks about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a statewide effort. We've got over 40,000 signatures times 6. We have 6 times we have to get that signature. So it's a big movement.
And this is something I know just talking with legislators over the years, and is that especially at the state level or below, they put so much stock in what their constituents think. And so, and I know our local legislators, I've talked to every one of them, and they've told me to a person that if you write a letter or you send an email or you correspond with them and you tell them that you're a constituent in their district, that piece of correspondence gets pushed up to a higher level than one that, like you said earlier, when you're talking about 1.2 million of this getting out, because our legislators get inundated from PAC groups and national things. They're in the system. Like it's like a mailing list, like your junk email. They get the same kind of stuff, from these groups. So they've got a lot to weed through. So when it's Jane or John Q. Public from their district that comes in and says, hey, I'm really concerned about this, that's something they care about. That's something they want to. So I always tell you, when you correspond with your legislators, tell them, I'm from your district. I live in your address or whatever. Give them an indicator that that they know that you are a local and not a bot or a packed group or some other organization.
True story. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And how are they going to know there's a problem and how you feel about it unless you reach out to them?
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we aim to do it's kind of the reverse. We want to educate people on what's coming, and that way they have something in their hands.
Sure. It's ammo for these guys. Our legislators, those letters you carry, solidifying whatever thing they're trying to change or whatever it is, when they come up with a stack of letters from constituents saying this is a problem in my district, we need to do something about it, that gives them the ammo. That gives them where the political lines blur is when they've got the evidence to say this is what the people want.
Right.
And that's the one thing that you can do that moves the needle over what's big D or big R on this kind
even
of
if they're from a different party. People need to remember that if you're a Republican, you don't have to recall the Republican legislators. You can call any of them.
Absolutely.
Anybody that represents
They're supposed to represent everyone.
Absolutely.
Not just the party.
Exactly. Exactly. Just because they are, they are your senator or your representative or your, they're you don't have a Republican senator for the district and a Democrat senator for the district or vice versa. You have one in each district. It's what you get here.
Well, unfortunately, the parties, if you divide the people, that's what it does is divide the people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the label lynching and
Well, and it also forces us to pick a side on things that we don't like.
Absolutely.
There's certain issues that there's I like a little bit of it, but there's other parts I want nothing to do with. Yeah. And I like obviously abortion's a huge button issue, but there's many shades of gray in there on where people agree on what that is. And that doesn't make you a good or bad person because you fall somewhere different in the spectrum of gray there. We all need to discuss that and talk about it.
Right.
And so that's what you guys do.
It is.
And it's all grassroots. It's all people that you guys aren't you guys didn't go to school for political science and all this kind of stuff. You're just moms and family members and workers and just humans living your lives, doing your things.
Exactly.
And you care about your community, and so you do that. You get more involved this way.
Well, and we'd like to leave the same way we grew up is what I would like to leave for the next generations. Amen. And unfortunately, right now, they're not seeing that.
No.
They're not. I mean, it's just. That's the way it is.
No.
So if we can institute some change and get some common sense back into government,
sure,
maybe we can turn that around.
Absolutely. And that's just it. That's all it takes is a couple people doing that kind of thing. That's and then it snowballs into something bigger and greater. And that's what Change Course New Mexico is. It started, like you said, a couple women probably at a Starbucks one day or something, and now here we sit, and that's how it happens. That's and it's all great things. They're like you look at Harvest Ministries down the street, but and serve. That literally started a guy in his car in a trunk, and that now look at where it's at, and that's what we're talking about is this kind of stuff. So
people who care.
So you guys do have a Facebook page called Change Course New Mexico.
We do.
I encourage people to like and follow that to start with. That way you can kind of see, and I know you guys are constantly sharing information on there, either stories from various parts of the state of things going on or events and things that are happening in New Mexico to invite you to, and obviously if there's things going on in the legislative session, the hot button issues, you guys kind of keep your finger on the pulse of some of that kind of stuff too.
We do. So. We put out a lot of call to actions on our Facebook, and we've started a new campaign recently, actually just yesterday. We kicked it off at Zia Guns. What we're doing now is we're going to focus on voter registration. We want everybody voting. We want everybody updating their voter registration. So we're going to do that by door knocking.
Good.
And we have teams. We have probably the best campaign in the state.
And to be
right
honest,
here.
When I look at our election times, our biggest issue has been exactly that, is the number of people from particularly southeast New Mexico
that don't
turning up at the polls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of it's that mindset about, can I make a difference? And that's that part where they manipulated and got you to think. And if someone tells you you're wasting your vote,
Oh, I
want
hate
to
to
punch
hear that.
people in the face when they
We
say
actually
that.
work the polls. We're precinct judges here in Roswell every election. I was at Church on the Move, and there were only 200 people that came.
Yeah, that's
200 people, and
That
that's
is-
Church on the Move. Like that's a huge area
Exactly.
right there. So that's our goal is to go. We'd like to knock every door in town. So if you see us coming, we should have brought one cute little plastic bags with an American flag, and we're gonna go and knock every door and let
Good.
people know what's going on.
Well,
That
yes,
makes a
please,
huge
though.
difference. That the personal face-to-face makes a huge
It
difference.
does because we have people. I live on North Garden, and I've only ever had two people in the last 10 years come knocking on my door. And I live in a huge voting area. So and people are so surprised when we come, when we're on the east side or we're on the
Well,
south
imagine
side.
first it's a little like, what are you doing, my
Well, yeah, and that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
We want to let people know we're
You
coming.
should carry, you know what, partner with the Girl Scouts, and then they got a thing of cookies.
Yeah,
no
that's
one
a
turns
good
down
idea.
Girl Scout
There you
cookies.
go.
So-
So you're saying we need to take a Girl Scout with us?
I'm just saying, it's just the season, kill two birds. You guys will get a lot more invites in with some things. Just saying.
There you go.
Take note. Take note.
And we're not trying to bother people. We're trying
Sure.
to get information.
Well,
out
exactly.
And get
But you're
everyone
right.
registered. Get them involved.
And you made a good point because we live in this world of computers and to be honest, you don't know what to believe, and sometimes face-to-face conversing with someone and talking it that way, people feel more comfortable exchanging ideas and talking a little bit about that or eliminating confusion
It's
on
almost
certain
like
things.
they're hungry for it.
Sure.
So.
I think you're right. And unfortunately, the internet and the news and that's a bigger problem. When we grew up, you could turn on the news at night and be like, that's the news. You know what I mean? And that's not the case
And
anymore.
get an unbiased presentation instead of leaning one way or the other.
And that's where it's difficult because you got people our age that kind of in our brains think of legacy media as that's a trusted source. You know, Walter Cronkite comes up, you're like, that's the law. You know, just what nowadays it's all opinion and everything else. And so you've got one sect of people that probably still to this day feel the news is their journalism's turned to a sham. And so we're in a world where it's very confusing to get reliable information.
That's true. Kathy's mom said it really smart the other day. She said whenever she was working in politics and doing her thing, that she just took people at their word, that that's a good person, they're doing the right thing. She said, Kathy's different. Kathy asked, okay, well, show me. If you're going to tell me something, show me what it is.
Well, that's the world we live in now. It's like, you know, you believe but verify kind of thing. And, and we've got to retrain, you know, older folks, we got to retrain ourselves to kind of, you know, multiple sources. Just because a legacy media said it doesn't mean it's necessarily gospel here. Check your sources. If 10 other people say it, then maybe there's some truth to it. You know?
And that's why we carry
that's why we gotta
plenty
learn.
of, I call it propaganda pamphlets. And, you know, we have links to all of this stuff that we tell you. If we have petitions, we have the information, the bills behind it. And
they can look it up themselves, not just take our word for
Absolutely. And that's just it. You guys will say, hey, we tell you this, but here, look for yourself.
We
Here's
carry
what
the
it is.
Constitution
This
with
is
us.
what it
We
is.
know it, you
if
know.
you disagree with us, here's the data we're going off of. What do you make of it?
That's
if
right.
that's what
because
is
people
different.
aren't going to sit down and read a whole bill. They're
Exactly.
way
no,
too confusing.
and they know
It's
that, and they
horrible.
do this by design.
Absolutely.
This is why lawyers make all the money they make, because they can legalese these things up to where
That's right.
you don't know what you're voting for by the time you finish reading it. You're still like, is this a law? I don't even know idea. I mean, that's why they make the jokes like Pelosi said about years ago. We got to pass it to know what's in it. You know, that's a joke, but that ain't that far from being off. I mean, that's the sad part.
It is sad.
But that's really what you guys are here for, and so we're and that's and you need more of you. So
Most definitely.
it's people just like you. If you've got a little time on your hands and a desire to make a difference, that's all it takes.
Yep.
You know, even if it's a day a week or a day a month, or whatever
Or an
you're
hour a
available.
day.
You know, and there, like you said, there's many different ways. Whether it's going out knocking on doors and meeting people, or being part of the you know, helping to disseminate information online and things like that, or helping organize and plan some events or research or
run for office.
Roll up your sleeves and that
spend a couple months in Santa Fe. Go see what it's like. You don't have to be a lawyer to run for office.
Well, that's just
despite what people think.
It's not
we just
supposed
need you
to be.
Exactly.
We need
it's supposed to be the people.
We need good business people. We need.
Congress. U.S. Congress, our legislation is supposed to be made up of people like you and me.
Exactly.
Average people from every walk of life, and they take all of their experts and that tease in those areas and pull that knowledge together.
And you serve the people. You take your time, and you're going to go serve your people.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
And another thing, we've been run by lawyers. There's a bunch of lawyers in Santa Fe, and look where our state is.
That's right. Exactly.
I mean, we're up at the top and everything bad and down at the bottom. And I love my state.
I would pray just to get our state back to the middle.
Oh.
Just to the middle.
Yes.
To it where we're having, and let's face it, and I wouldn't want it all conservative either. And that's like, I lean conservative on a lot of my values and things, but I don't want that either. Because then you've got the same problem, just the opposite.
Well, we don't want an oligarchy.
Exactly. We want checks and balances.
Yes.
That whole checks and balances thing is the key to how this works. Yes. And when they manipulate that, then it's a problem. And that's what they've been doing.
And our Constitution specifically says we have a fantastic New Mexico Constitution.
Yeah.
If we would just
listen
to it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the rules are there. We just got to follow them.
Keep it really simple. Follow that Constitution.
Exactly. And hold the people that aren't doing that to the fire.
There you go.
Making them accountable for what they're doing on this stuff.
And hold them to the fire to make them do their job while they're there.
Absolutely.
Don't get elected just to be reelected. That doesn't work for us anymore.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of the way it's set up. It's set up to how do you get in the system.
Yeah, exactly. And I see that people have been so powerful. Larry Marker, he's not here with us, but he's put all of these initiatives together just by reading the laws and learning. He's not a lawyer. He just reads really well. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know him by talking to him, but he can read a little bit. And he's put these. I know. He puts these initiatives together, and they're so simple, and it's genius.
Right.
Just take it back to the law. If you think this isn't working, just keep it real basic and real narrow. You don't have to legalese it up.
Right.
You don't have to make it so vague that nobody knows what it means anymore. Just keep it the referendum. We have that, right?
The referendum's a prime example.
And we're using it. It's the right of the people.
That's our voice. Yeah. I mean, our voice was taken away.
Every
by all
one of those
laws.
signatures is so important because it is a voice.
Absolutely. Well, and at the end of the day, that's, we as a nation, that moves the needle. When the people speak, we're still there.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I know.
That's right.
But and as long as that happens, and then we'll, but the moment we stop pressing, the moment we just let them do these things, then
and don't get involved, we just sit back.
Next thing you know, we got Stalin in Russia and all of that going on. That's where that leads to.
Exactly.
So you got to get involved. Stay involved. I'm not, I get it. Not everyone's going to be knowledgeable, but there are things that are important in your life and values and things. Support them.
Mm-hmm.
Do your part to ensure that those
in
things
any way
stay.
you can. If you can donate to a candidate, find that candidate. If you don't want to donate to a party, that's fine. But we have to support these people.
Absolutely.
We have to support these organizations. If you can't do money, do an hour a week. Give us a call. We'll walk in your neighborhood. Anything you want to do. If you want to become your own third-party agent to register voters, go down and see Cindy, Casey, Stephanie at the county clerk's office. They'll get you signed up.
They're very knowledgeable at helping you
15
navigate all through that.
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
it's free to do. Yeah, they'll help.
We're blessed with a great clerk's office here in Cadiz County.
Really,
their
really
staff's
lucky.
very knowledgeable. They're very efficient and
on top of it.
And
if any crazy question we have, they've got an answer.
I don't envy them either. They got a mountain of garbage they got to pile through, but I don't envy any of it. But they do an amazing job doing it.
They do.
They do.
We are very blessed there.
We appreciate them a lot. So.
But look for Change Course New Mexico on Facebook. Is it Change Course New Mexico? What's the website? If
the email is changecoursenewmexico, all spelled out at gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us. On Facebook is usually the easiest way to message.
Okay.
Or with that email, we're always available that
If you don't
way.
remember anything, just Google or put in the search thing, Change Course New Mexico, and it'll pop right up.
Right.
And it'll be right there. I encourage you to like and follow it. If you want to get more involved, shoot a message, and one of
You
these
can
ladies
call
or one of
me,
the other
you
members
can-
will.
Our cards are out there. My number's out there, 575-420-2353. Call me. Let me know that you want to volunteer.
Absolutely.
Text me. We need to get everybody involved. Watch out for us in your neighborhood. We're not
We'll
there.
be coming.
And if you want to join us when we come to your door, if you want to get involved, please let us
strengthen
know.
numbers.
Talk to
Yes.
us. Yeah.
The more people that
The
get
more
involved,
people-
the louder the voice,
Yes,
the bigger the
exactly.
message.
And the more we can educate and reach.
Or if you have a
Absolutely.
business, we can come set up outside, put tables up for voter registration on a busy day if you want to get involved that way. We did that yesterday
awesome.
at Zia Gun. We had a lot of success over there with signatures.
Absolutely. And if you got questions, please reach out,
Yep.
ask. This is what it's for, to educate yourself.
Exactly.
If you want to learn more about what's going on, or you're just, even if you're trying to find information, reach out to Change
Yep.
Course New Mexico. They're in the
Yes.
information business. That's what they do.
And Larry Marker has stepped up, and he's running for the Senate seat in New Mexico for District 27.
Okay.
All right, and he's the one that gave us the referendum
voice.
project, which is our voice.
Sure.
Everybody.
Well, it's brought it back to getting those checks and balances back into
Exactly.
our
And
legislature.
grassroots
Yes.
candidates.
And
what it's
that's
about.
exactly how
And
you do
he
it.
is a grassroots candidate, and
It's time to break up the Kabbalah in New Mexico,
Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
exactly what's been going on.
Yes.
And the sad part is, we've been behind the eight ball before this thing was even a state.
Oh,
I
yes.
tell people every time, you want to know how this state's is screwed up, spend the day in Lincoln, New Mexico, and just read every single sign at the
told me that
courthouse
before.
and all. Go read it, and you're going to see what crap show this state has been as far as
Exactly.
shenanigans and shadiness
Well,
since the
and-
dawn of the state.
and study the Santa Fe ring.
Yes.
Have you ever done that? Oh.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
eye-opening.
That's part. Yeah, we're basically we're grassroots of mafia like type
Right,
tactics.
right.
That's
And
exactly.
we've got all the potential in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we fight so hard.
That's right. We've got the resources here. We could be the
Absolutely.
wealthiest
We have-
state in the nation.
Great resources, great people.
Yeah.
Just bad leadership.
Right.
We need some
Absolutely.
good
You're right.
leadership.
So let's change it.
Yeah.
Change course,
Change
New
course.
Mexico.
Let's change course
Absolutely.
today.
So reach out, get in there, get involved, and maybe today's the first day. And start small. Start with coming out and coming to an
We'll
event.
be walking
or-
tonight. So we'll be out in the neighborhood up north. So if you see us, stop, talk to us.
That's right.
We'll have Margaret with us. She's always fun to talk to.
Ah, very good.
It'll be a good time.
Good deal. Put on a pot of coffee and we'll chit chat about this stuff. But
We'll
get
get a
involved.
wagon with coffee.
Yeah. But I will tell you this: if you're not happy with the world you live in, and you want to make it better, the only person at the end of the day is going to do the most to do that is you. So you gotta. When I always tell people, no one's going to be a bigger advocate for you than you. So if you want to see what's better, then you are the one that's going to have to make that decision. Are there people to help and guide? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you've got to put that first foot forward to say, I'm committing to this.
Yeah.
And once you do, the rest kind of works itself out.
That's true.
It does. It
Good
does.
deal. Is there anything you guys wanted to share, or anything we wanted to cover that we just
That's coming
Okay.
got
up.
spaced over? Because I'm sure there is.
Okay, on
Before-
March 15th,
Yes.
we're going to have a viewing of the movie
Let My People Go.
Okay.
by David Clement.
All right.
And David is coming. We don't have the venue set yet.
Okay, so we need to get
but
you
we
back
will get
in
back
here.
to you.
We'll
Yes.
get you back in here in the next couple of weeks once that's all
Okay.
nailed down. And
Sounds
but
good.
got it is officially February now, so February
It is,
we got
I
a
know.
little less than a month and a half away, and February's a short month, so you'll blink it'll be over. So
Exactly.
although today's leap year or this year's leap
This
year,
is
so
leap year.
Yes,
we do get an extra day.
year.
That's
An
right.
extra
Extra day.
Yes.
So all you people born on the 29th get to actually celebrate your birthday on the 29th.
And you have an extra day to get nominating signatures. Right now, if you do want to run for office, your signatures for nominating petitions are due March 12th.
All
is
right.
filing day.
So
So
get-
really important. If you want information on running, we've done a lot of research. We kind of know how to do it.
Kinda got
But
the-
get
got
a
the-
hold of us, and we'll let you know. Kind of help you navigate it.
Absolutely. So please, and this is back to that getting involved, and
Yeah.
and when it comes to our legislature or local or level city council and
Yes.
county commission and these this is of the people.
So important.
These are all jobs filled by people that their day jobs are lawyers or farmers or ranchers or store clerks or, they're average Janes and Joes, just like you and me. It's not supposed to be professional politicians.
Exactly.
So the people that are supposed to be in these positions are you and me and our neighbors and things like that.
And we need good people to step up. If you've ever had an inkling to run to be in office, now's the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
We have lists, and if anybody's interested, they can get a hold of us, of every single position in the state that's up for election this cycle. We do the research on all of that.
Okay.
We know the requirements for each position. We know people running for U.S. Senate. We know people running and just regular people stepping up to get into those positions, and it's worked all over the place.
Good.
We're really excited to see that, but there's a lot of groups that are working against us at the same time, already preparing for the next cycle.
Well, and that's just it, too. It's kind of like, even if you don't get your people in this time, it's continuing the fight, because the more you get going this time, the easier it will be the next go around to get the foothold in. So it's kind of baby steps a little bit. It's not going to be overnight. All of a sudden, a flood of new people are going to show up.
Strategy,
it's ones and twos here, slowly chipping away the old theology and kind of re-implementing the new. That's
just
what's
start
going on.
in your backyard.
Yep.
That's how it's going to work, and it's working all over the country. We've met with some really great people. Dan Schultz is in Arizona. He's written a couple of books. He's nationally known for his precinct strategy. And you put people in at the ward level, the precinct level, then the county level, and spread it from there. And pretty soon you've got a fire.
Well, now you're starting a movement instead of just a couple people
And
waving their arms in here and there. Now it's
kind
all
of go on
now it's
offense
a wave.
a little bit.
Now all the arms are going in the same direction.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good thing. Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. We'll see.
Thank you for having
We'll get
us.
you back in here in the
David,
next couple weeks
Yes,
once we get more cemented in about the March 15th date there and all that. And again, just look for Change Course New Mexico on Facebook. Start there, like and follow, and ask questions, and start reading. And that'll be a good place to start. And if you see the ladies in your neighborhood, invite them in, cup of coffee, or hang out.
I've heard coffee and cookies so far.
There you go. Cookies. Depending on the day, maybe if it's early or lunchtime, maybe I'll work a burrito in there. Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay?
Thank you very much.
It is 7:57. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
Get your tickets now for Red Zone Presents A Night with Jason Witten, coming to Artesia Saturday, April 13th. Jason Witten is an 11-time Pro Bowl selection and 2-time NFL All-Pro with the Dallas Cowboys and is currently head coach at Liberty Christian High School in Argyle, Texas. Jason is one of sports' top leaders on and off the field. Tickets are free, but you must have a ticket to enter. To get your free tickets, contact the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about Jason Witten coming to Artesia.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
The University of New Mexico. It's the state's flagship, a world-class university right here in Albuquerque. Apply for admission at UNM today at unm.edu. That's unm.edu. The University of New Mexico is the university for opportunity.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back next hour. We're going to replay our interview with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society next hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Mitch Thomason. Dead on arrival, that's how House Speaker Mike Johnson describes prospects in the House for a $118 billion border bill put together by a small group of Senate Democrats and Republicans. Correspondent Jackie Quinn says the package ties some controversial border provisions to billions more in military aid for Israel and Ukraine.
A divided Congress is torn between tightening border security, funding Israel, Ukraine, and other allies, and blocking a bipartisan bill as requested by Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, on NBC's Meet the Press, says they have their own bill.
We would resolve the broken asylum system and the broken parole system. We would reinstitute Remain in Mexico.
The Senate bill would authorize the funding that President Biden is seeking to provide wartime aid to Ukraine. A test vote could come this week.
House Republicans seizing on a remark by Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, who says that under this bill, the border never closes. From northern to southern California, the second atmospheric river is flooding roads, knocking out power, leading forecasters to warn of hurricane-force winds and mudslides. One home improvement retailer in Santa Barbara says people are anxious to protect their homes from the rising waters.
We run out of sandbags. People are trying to get anything they can get heavy, so to use it as a, for protect the doors and everything.
There have been evacuations and states of emergency have been declared. The latest in a rash of carjackings in Washington, D.C. has claimed the life of Mike Gill, a former Trump and Obama administration official shot a week ago while sitting in his car. Wall Street, the Dow down 221 points, and NASDAQ is off 43. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele is declaring victory in national elections, claiming a second term in office in a landslide.
He's got support from the poorest, who make up the majority in El Salvador, but also I think he's got a big sector of the middle classes who are just very thankful, I think, about the security policy, that life in the country is just a lot easier. People can move around the country without fearing for your life the whole time. And in some of the poorer neighborhoods and the gang-controlled neighborhoods, the gangs used to extort people constantly. Beyond the violence, it was just part of the social fabric of the country. So people are very, very thankful, and I think it's a pretty big cross-section of society that voted for him.
The BBC's Will Grant. In Germany, a union is calling on Lufthansa's ground staff to walk off the job for a day on Wednesday in a pay dispute, the latest of several transport strikes gripping Germany. News and analysis, townhall.com. Avalanche forecasters trying to curb deaths as skiers, snowmobilers, and other snow enthusiasts flock to the great outdoors.
4 people have already died this year in snowslides in Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, and California. In Montana, snowmobile outfitter Shannon Abelseth says business owners like him have been more aggressively pushing their advice about avalanches.
It's got to be done. Yeah, everybody in this community
we don't like to send people home in body bags.
Doug Chabot, the director of the Gallatin National Forest Avalanche Center, says forecasting has become better, and so have people being educated about the dangers.
If you're caught in an avalanche, you have an 80% chance of survival if you're dug up in 10 minutes.
I'm Julie Walker.
Boeing says its supplier has found another problem with fuselages on its 737 jetliners, and that could delay deliveries of about 50 planes. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Yes, the deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday. That's all I got to say about that.
It is, and welcome to it.
Yeah. Hope your Monday's going well.
So far, so smooth.
It's sunny and not windy, so that's a good start.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yep, sorry, just got some information.
Good or bad?
Just some pricing.
Indifferent?
Just some prices.
Prizes.
Prices.
Oh, prices.
Mhm.
Prices. Speaking of prices, I was when I was telling you I made a decision. I'm going to get the trimmer deal. So yesterday I bought the trimmer, but I kind of did the trimmer search, and I saw the one, and the one I ended up getting is the one that I think it paid about $100 all said and done with the blade and all that stuff.
Right.
But apparently, in my searching, and I'm gonna guess it's the singer, but I'm not sure. There's a Pitbull brand of bald head trimmers.
Mr.
And
Worldwide himself.
I'm assuming it's Pitbull.
Okay.
The guy.
Well, probably.
But they're a little bit more expensive. Like the high end one was like $200.
See, that's ridiculous.
And then they had a lesser one for about half that. And then I just went with this one that I don't know, looked good. I don't know. I don't have a lot of
Shop
experience.
Pitbull head shavers.
Is it a Pitbull? Like
I'm
the
looking
Pitbull?
into it. I'd imagine it'd have to be if Mr. Worldwide to Infinity let him use their name.
But there was,
But then again, I'm pretty sure he's not bald. All the way bald, is he?
Who, Pitbull?
Yeah.
He's
I guess,
bald.
yeah, he's bald.
He's bald.
He's pretty bald.
He's always been bald. He's bald with the suit. That's
I'm
like
not
his
seeing
uniform.
Pitbull anywhere on here, but I could be very wrong.
Is it?
But here's my suggestion. Now, you ordered the trimmer.
I did.
Okay, so it's on its way.
It is.
Why don't you go to a professional first, have them do the initial cleanup, the initial shaving, cleanup, make sure, because have somebody who knows what they're doing do it, and then you just do the upkeep with the trimmer that you're getting. Because, I mean, if you're going to start this, wouldn't you want to start it on the best foot, with the best foot forward? I'm just thinking we got a barber like right downstairs.
Part of it is I'm a cheap bastard.
Okay, fair enough.
The other part is how hard could it be? It's
Now,
all
wait
the
a second, wait
I'm
a
not
sec-
like trimming it. It's going away. I can remove stuff. It's when I got to make it even. It's
Right, that's what I'm saying, for upkeep. So now your argument is that you're cheap.
Yes.
But I also argue that most people, Michael Chiklis, whoever, would get it done with a Bic 2-blade. And the other thing I would argue is that you just spent $100 on a shaver, so you're not that cheap.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm gonna be doing this every couple days,
right,
for the rest of my life, seemingly.
That is really a commitment. You are putting a ring on it, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you do.
The hair's going.
No, but you can let it go. Just let it.
But it looks stupid.
Which brings us to the sponsor of this section of the program, Hims.
It just looks stupid. Like,
well,
at this
okay.
point,
Have you thought about, like, I'm again not a sponsor, but have you thought about stuff like a Hims, like a treatment?
No,
because
I don't believe in it. I don't think it works.
It does.
Not to the point that's going to help me.
Well, not help, but you could maintain what you have now and
that's
potentially
just it. It's
regrow.
not maintainable. Like it's at this point, it is a mess. It's a hot mess. It even if I stopped the fallout, it looks like a hot mess.
When are you going to understand, Mike? People are looking at you for your eyes, your smile. They're not looking at you for your hairline. Come on, man.
I'm just tired of looking like a weirdo.
I don't think you do.
On top,
I think
there.
you're. I think
the fact that
I understand.
The hair's here and not here, and then
Look,
gone here. It's
I'm not going to
weird.
try to talk you out of it. I understand you have a camera on the back side of your head all the time.
I know it is.
So I understand it can
it's
get
driving me nuts.
Right.
You know, I get it. I know it's part of life. I accept that.
But I just suggest.
But I don't like looking at it.
Going to a professional first, letting them do like lay the foundation. You know, lay a strong foundation, and then you just do the upkeep. Get yourself some wax. Are you going to wax it?
Well, it's not to wax.
No, if you shave it, are you going to wax your head?
No.
Are you not going to chrome up your dome?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
You got to go like full Al Roker. Like, I want to see you shine, old man.
I don't want it.
I want that camera to have white balance issues.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know.
I just feel like this opens up the whole world for you, because then you can do dome wax. You could do like dome cream, like the special moisturizers and stuff. Because that's the thing. There's some upkeep to it. You want to keep it smooth. You want to keep it looking good. So you're going to have to like apply moisturizers and like sugar scrub it and stuff. Yeah. I'm kind of scared of what my actual scalp looks like because of just years of like hair dye that maybe didn't all the way wash out the scalp, or like maybe like somewhere back here there's like a I Heart Linda. So I don't know. I spent it was a weird time in college, man. So and the other thing is like I'm not sure where my lumps are, you know?
Oh, I've been mostly bald.
You've had time with your scalp.
Yeah.
I have not.
I don't know. Part of me I just wanted to look not like Donald Trump up there. I'm sorry. I'm just tired of it looking like that.
Trust me, nobody is making that comparison to your hair.
To me, that's what it feels
Promise you.
It feels like that.
Now, granted, the wind this weekend was not friendly to anybody. You should have seen how I walked into my haircut on actually yesterday. I walked in the house and she goes, wow. So yeah, it was needed very much.
Yeah.
So I understand the self-conscious mindset. I get it. Same time, I would just suggest going pro first and then, following it up after the fact.
Well, I got time to ponder.
I will tell you this. There's nary a time that I watch a TV show or a movie or anything and want a product that's advertised. But there is one product, and I need to throw my phone out of the room because I'm going to get targeted advertising for this for years now. But the Hansen razor.
Okay.
Have you seen the commercials for these?
I guess
they're
I haven't.
all over the internet.
I must have missed it.
It's this family-owned razor company. God, we are so like sponsor thick this morning. It's this family-owned razor company, and they make this razor, but like the distance between the blade and the base is like 1/68th of a human hair. Okay. It's like the closest a razor could be. Like they show the comparison. It's like next to an atom of like space, and they say it results in a vibrationless shave. Like so, the razor doesn't vibrate, which leads to less cuts or irritation. Which is not cuts, but irritation is my biggest problem. Like I aqua velvet like a son of a gun after the fact just because of the burn. But it's after that you just replace the razors with actual just razor blades. So like 3 cents to replace the blades once you buy the base itself. and it's got like a weighted, handle and all that, and it's fancy. But it's like $99 for one. It's like one of those, like, what's that other company that was real big for a long time? The Manscaped.
Oh,
it's like one of those. It's like a gimmick product. Although this company's been around for like, several generations.
Gotcha.
But it looks just like your granddad's shaver. It's like,
is it like a Remington or?
No, it's just one blade. So like it's just got like one of those rounded tops, and you screw the handle in, and that's what puts the blade in place.
Okay.
So
kind of sounds like that one that the guy from Pawn Stars was hawking.
Well, trust me, you'll start getting targeted ads for it on your phone now. So
I will.
You'll see it. But it's all over like YouTube YouTube videos and stuff. I've seen it advertised there. I've seen a couple of TV commercials too. So kind of a cool thing.
But I'm assuming here next day or two I'll get when my package will arrive here and get the shipping and handling today when they process the order.
Right.
And we'll know. And I'll ponder and decide what I'm going to do from there.
Shipping and a stamp. Oh, I'll tell you off the air.
It is 8:15. We're going to play our interview we had with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society last week. Here in just a few. There's something else I was going to mention. I just completely spaced it. Oh well, it'll come to me later.
My tummy's vibing. I found this video. So I randomly like look for stuff to fall asleep to. Been trying to find like the perfect video to fall asleep to. So I found this video. I put it on last night, and the problem with this video is it is very like relaxing, but it's also, I was laughing to the point where I had to turn it off because the video, it was on Adult Swim several years ago, and it's called Joe Pera Talks You to Sleep.
All right.
And it's just this dude with this very...
Things just don't work out. Like how it didn't work out for the 1990 to 93 Buffalo Bills who lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Or how it didn't work out for the Buffalo Buffaloes. The passenger pigeon either. Or the Tacopa pupfish, Pyrenean ibex, or Kodak.
It's just, it was like the things he says is just so randomly funny. There's a part of it where he said, so I had to process like something that happened to me, so I did what I always do. I go to the batting cages, and you see, like you hear him hit the ball, and he goes, nice. Nice. Home run. Another home run. Nice. And I get how it would work on a level like, oh, this is going to put me to sleep. But I'm sitting there just laughing.
I'd probably get more into what's going on. And
just the
distracted.
absurdity of it, yeah. I can't, if I'm focusing on something that's playing, I can't go to sleep. It has to just be a droning thing, a droning video.
I do better with music.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also have, a lover. I'm just saying, you have someone, you got a cuddle buddy. You can't just be putting drone videos on.
I cannot.
No,
I cannot.
That doesn't work for your situation.
But I would not do doing well. So
you, my friend, I'm sorry, but you have taken a lover. So
go headphones.
I've never liked that term, by the way.
It's 8:17. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Rinse that mouth out with the palate cleanse.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in a pretty nice pattern for a while. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, but that's extending down into our area, so we get sunshine today. High temperatures should be right around 60. Overnight, maybe a few clouds drifting through and mid-30s on the low, and then we're expecting low to mid-60s for the afternoon high on Tuesday. We will have a little bit more cloud cover, maybe a shower Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 73%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Sunny and 61 today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an overnight low of 37 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 63 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low 43 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. Wednesday, got the wind blowing back in. Partly cloudy and a high of 65. Winds will be breezy out of the south, 10 to 15 miles an hour initially, then increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, sunny and 63. Friday, sunny and 62. And then for the weekend, sunny and 61 for Saturday. We're looking at a 20% chance of showers on Sunday with highs in the mid-50s. So we'll see. All right, 8:19. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll play our interview with Amy McFay-Tejas from the Historical Society. Don't go away.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate. The scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for, with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well, with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
We can all use help strengthening our marriage to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
Us in studio. And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McFay-Tejas is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got to say it at least full once. And then I can cut it short to Historical Society. But first time for
right.
Southeast New Mexico.
That's right. Yes.
And I remember when I first started kind of working with the Historical Society, for the life of me, 4 was not registering. I kept saying of. I kept saying of. Of. It's like, it's not of, it's 4.
We get a lot of Southeastern.
Yeah, you like to put
Historical
the
Society of Southeastern, and it's all right. It's all good.
So,
we're in there. We're in the neighborhood.
It took me a good 6 months to finally get in line. So if you botch it, I feel your pain. I too do that. But of course, Amy pops in usually about once a month, just give us an update on what's going on and what's happening there. And of course, we're now really kind of full into 2024 here, starting the new year, kind of looking forward to what's on tap for the Historical Society in 2024. We already have we're the day one into February, but we already have a good list of events already on the calendar. Others that are in the works. We do have some big things planned for 2024 in the Historical Society. So we can't share everything with you yet, but we can tease you on a few things.
That's right. That's right. First and utmost, if you're a member, our newsletter went out, so you should be getting it.
That's right.
It's at membership time. If you're a member of the Historical Society, it's generally, for the most part, renew time. So we do kind of call
I'm
it
officially good. I just paid
members.
mine.
You are legit, Mike. Mike Winters, for the
director
record,
has the
is
check
legit.
in her hand. I'm officially official now.
But give us a call or check in with us. It is membership time. But we are really getting excited. We've got a lot on. We've got a lot on the calendar. Working on a lot on the calendar, and it's school tour mode time.
March will be here, and April will be here. I mean, February's now. March is next month.
Goodness.
April, when all the tours happen. So now is the time to get the logistics down, lining up our volunteers, materials, getting the school scheduled, and everything else. It is busy for that kind of stuff.
So we have officially been approved. Huge shout out to Jennifer Cole and the Roswell Independent School District. Kyla Starnhart, she is amazing. And I think she's on the agenda for Leadership Roswell.
Good.
I love to see cool names and amazing people.
Well, and I'm so glad that the school district, even through all the COVIDs.
That's right.
And everything,
they're so good.
They understand kind of the significance of what the Historical Society does, and what, giving that opportunity for their fourth graders to come and see a little, kind of like how the sausage was made before they were put on this earth.
Let's just validate this as this is part of our history. Fourth grade school tours, it is, and let's say this: it's a part of our legacy.
Absolutely.
Love to use that word, but we want to remind individuals this is not easy. We're a nonprofit organization. It just doesn't pop up. These events are all funded directly through the Historical Society. At this point, there's no funding that's assisted us. So straight up, if you become a member, or if you collect loose change and give it to us,
goes directly towards this stuff.
That is what helps. Now, I will say, huge shout out to Excel Energy. For years, they've helped be a sponsor to help make fourth grade school tours. We've got many other little blessings. But
absolutely, we have some generous donors that help push us through the finish line every time.
If you're a member, you're helping make this possible. But if you're listening and are passionate about investing in our future generations and reminding those little fourth graders, the light bulbs come on and they see that our history is so much richer and greater than one particular thing. It's so much more.
Sure.
And they realize they're part of it. So I think that's really cool. And they realize they're part of it no matter where you are. What's your school about, or what's the history of your school? All these fun things. And perhaps if you're in one neighborhood or another, they realize we don't care where you're from. Well, we love it, the history of it, but it's not rich or poor. No, we embrace every dadgum fourth grader. We want to remind them they can get involved with the school. So you can tell this is the good time for Amy Tejas. And I put a big smile on my face, and it's sunshine time. We're not going to be Debbie Downers. We're going to celebrate our future and youth and fourth grade school tours. If you're a retired educator, you're retired or have a little bit of time, please call the museum at 622-8333. We would love to have your support.
Absolutely.
It's basically the last 2 weeks of April.
Yeah.
So if you need more information, we respect the process. Mike, we're being safer. We're blocking areas off. We've got, we respect these kids. And if you don't think I take that seriously, I have nightmares about being responsible for fourth graders. We're going to block things off. We're going to keep these kids safe and be a part of it.
One thing I know about Amy in the time I've known Amy is, when it comes to events and things like this, you sweat every detail.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, not even just
the
date, but to this point, like that table needs a centerpiece, or it needs something.
Yeah, that table's got to have the milk image with the milk. Hey, and listen,
and where my guy brain doesn't think like that.
And I'm so thankful because details matter, Mike. And thank you for mentioning that. We need a couple of additional items. If you have milk churns, milk boxes, those old vintage items, and if you're kind of a hoarder or collector,
I know some.
Oh my goodness, we would love extra. We can line up as many churns, metates, different things like that. So we do corn grinding, we do the milk, and we do apples. If you have anything historically significant for this place, we'd love to have that. And
Absolutely.
thank you. Details do matter.
Absolutely.
And we'll make it, and we'll upgrade. Every year we want to upgrade. We want to make things a little bit
Got to get
better.
bigger,
Oh, yes,
stronger,
yes.
faster.
So if you need more information on that, speaking of youth, Mike, today is the official day, and our scholarships are live on the website.
'Tis the season.
Yay!
And,
I'm so excited.
And this is, to me, it is, in terms of the Historical Society, it's one of the coolest things we do and one of the hardest things we do.
Oh, my goodness.
And,
yes.
and I'm not going to lie, I am so thankful I am not on the committee that has to read the essays and determine which kids are more worthy of others to get these scholarships, because I'm a softie, and every one of those kids would get the money if I was able to do it.
My
and I know
yes.
many of our people feel the same way, but they do their due diligence, they take it seriously, and they put on their analytical and logistical hats and circulate the nuts and bolts of it and use that, and it's so hard because every single student that applies is worthy.
Yes.
It just is. They just
well,
are.
and it's so funny because kids, we reiterate that kids need to take it seriously, because I'm not being rude or hateful. If you show up and apply and just think, I'm here, I'm going to get it.
It's not a gimme.
You're going to have to battle for that.
Yeah.
And I was emailing and reminding people, it's live today, and we do take it very seriously. There's spreadsheets upon spreadsheets.
They get about a month to get their applications in?
Yes. So they are live. RoswellNMhistory.org. You can literally click. We were webmaster. I love Laura. She's amazing. We were confirming everything. They're live through March the 29th. So they've got the time. But I want to remind everybody, Mike, we've talked about this in Leadership Roswell and everything else. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't be that last name. Don't be number 98 on that list. We want to reiterate, kids, if you have seniors, if you have youth groups, you get these kids to sign up now, and let's talk real fast about the scholarships we have available.
The different categories and who can apply.
That's right. So for high school seniors, and before I forget, we need to start with, this wouldn't be possible without Troy Hayes and the legacy of
Hayes
Linda
family.
Hayes. So that's special, and thank you for making this possible. And we've had other donors over the years, and if you want to help us give more scholarships, that would make our life a little bit easier. Humanity and arts, high school seniors, if they are majoring or minoring in humanities and arts, apply $1,250. $1,250. That's one thing I'm so proud about our scholarships. We go to all the different award ceremonies. $1,250 is a lot of money.
Absolutely.
You hear a lot of 500s, 1000s.
Even like if you go, and I'm not trying to tell people where to go to school, but if you go locally, like Easter, that's a semester.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. STEM scholarship, we're offering 2 for high school seniors majoring or minoring in any STEM category, $1,250 each. Character scholarship for high school seniors. That is in not just Roswell, surrounding areas. We've gotten some vast range of applicants, and we've spread it out to little
all over the state.
Small areas.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just like Fort Sumner and different areas. We've got 2 character scholarships. Character is just those special individuals that celebrate character. Doesn't mean they have to have the 4.5 GPA and all of that.
But they show things like integrity. They're the type of people that are doing the right thing when no one's watching. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, so that is special to us. That's near and dear to our heart. I don't think the main objective of the Historical Society scholarships is to find that 1% number one in the class. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them have character too. It are those individuals that just rise above and celebrate character.
We're human beings.
Oh, yes.
We all learn different. We live different. We like different things. And not all of us are built to sit in a classroom and crank out essays and do all that, but that doesn't mean they're not smart or not capable.
Well, and
their brain doesn't process that way.
Right. Well, and those applications are special.
Yeah.
These kids have stories, and I think sometimes we lose sight of these kids, who they are and what they've gone through. Talk about resilience. So we're offering 2 character scholarships, and last but not least, continuing ed scholarship. Our committee, we meet, we confirm, we generally offer at least $10,000. I would dearly love if somebody called and said, Amy, add $1,000 scholarship. Woo-wee.
Every little bit would help.
Around $10,000. Now, if you're doing the math, you're saying, Amy, I hope you're listening and realize the math isn't aligned.
She's not an accountant. So cool. We have accountants to work on the accountant stuff.
So as of right now, that is $7,500. Why that is because we actually have additional scholarships coming up that we're not promoting right now through New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy. That class is going right now. I'll be speaking to them next week, and we will be offering scholarships to that group too. So if you think we're just focusing on this, what our Historical Society and a bunch of educators are on this committee, they're a lot more informed and educated on.
There's a reason the dumb DJ's not on that committee, because we have much more qualified people
honestly,
to be on that
committee. We listen and we know. But anyways, we've got high school seniors, we've got continuing ed. Somebody asked me the other day, what if I was 35 years old? Hey, as long as you are enrolled and in college,
if you're doing,
we've had those applicants.
If you're doing extended education,
continuing ed,
maybe you decided you want to, and the beauty of it is it's education. So if you're going to trade school to learn air conditioning or something or whatever, you know, that these count towards that.
And
too,
something very important
education.
for us to mention. So go to RoswellNMHistory.org. You will see flashing lights. You'll see apply for scholarships there. There are Google Docs. You cannot call us and say, I need a paper application. That is not the way this process is working. It is all Google Docs. You have to go to our website, RoswellNMHistory.org. Click on the link, apply, and straight up. So we're offering papers to spread the word, but there's not paper applications.
And to be honest, it's one of these things that people our age and up need to remember.
Right.
It's 2024.
Right. It's sign time.
We don't do faxes anymore.
Right.
We don't do these things anymore.
Kids are going to upload everything. They'll basically need their transcript and things like that.
Paper is not the language of the people we're talking to anymore.
So if you need any more information, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, call the museum at 622-8333. I am just honored to be part of this process. This is headed by a committee. It is not about me. It's about we, and we're excited. One thing that's important, our checks are written directly to the students, and this is why. We hear this all the time. It's not going to go into their accounts at university. These guys, and I think working through the Hayes Trust, we've helped see, these kids have needs up front. You maybe are on a full ride scholarship. You need books. You need these things. You need
sometimes these kids, the actual classes are paid for, but they don't have the things they need to live while they're at school.
100%.
So this helps for
New
that.
New
Mexico Youth Challenge Academy was running amazing with NEMI, New Mexico Military Institute.
Yeah.
Well, those kids had needs, scholarships, but so we will cut the check directly to the students to help with those needs.
Yeah, so they can triage it to wherever they need that money best for their education.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But like you said, you got about a month here to get your applications in, and like you were saying earlier about not waiting until the last minute. I'm telling you this for this reason. You have to write an essay, and depending on which scholarship you're applying for.
Oh, and they can apply for more than one.
Yeah, and you can apply for more than one if you qualify as a character person and a STEM or whatever. But what I'm telling you is, at the end of the day, they're going to look at your transcripts and everything, but that essay is the one thing that the people deciding who gets the money learn about you and learn why you're deserving of it. So it might behoove you to percolate on that a little bit.
That's right.
Think a little bit about it. You're selling yourself to people you do not know.
Right.
What do you want to say in that essay that makes you the deserving person of that? So don't wait until the day before to do this.
Well, and don't wait to be number 99. Let's give an example, because Mike, we had huge amounts.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be at the top when we're reading you at the top, and not at number 99 at the last.
Exactly.
In it. So yes, it's exciting.
So
I am
do yourself
honored.
an advantage and put some effort and time and really, sell yourself, because no one else will. That's the point you're going to learn. The older you get, no one's going to be a bigger advocate for you than you.
Right.
So always do your best for you, because no one else will.
And we always have a little message. You need to rise above the paper. You need to rise out. It's not about who your names are or what schools you're from. That's what I love most about this process, Mike, that I've helped see, is these hidden gems come out, and they polish and represent, and it's not those obvious selections. Maybe it's somebody unique. Well, they're telling their story and they're doing great things, and good for them.
Absolutely. And the part I also love about it too is, because we've been doing this for a few years now,
yes,
so we got some track record here.
Right.
And now we're seeing students that got the scholarship 5-10 years ago that are coming back as adults, kind of living their lives now, and some come back to serve. Some just come in to check in from time to time to say doing great. But almost all of them follow up with us or kind of stay in touch and keep us kind of abreast of how their lives are going after the scholarship.
These kids are part of our family, different backgrounds, different schools, and whether you think it or not, it's true. It is. There's a great balance there. It's not one school; it's a bunch of schools. They are part of our family, and shout out to them. They're texting me saying, I didn't do so hot this semester. Send a prayer my way. But then others are dean's lists, and they're just our babies, and they're flying, and they come back, and we're so proud of our little butterflies.
Absolutely. Well, and that's something we gotta, and we need to remind ourselves. And I think this is good. Is college is hard. Let's face it. If it was easy to get a degree, everyone would have one.
Right.
And they don't. So it's something you've got to work and put, and it's a goal. And when you achieve it, it's a feather in your cap. It's saying, look, I was given a task. I was given a problem or given something that I've got to overcome, and I did it. And to be honest, that's when people are hiring people. That's the reason why they hire them is because look, this person can complete a task.
Right.
That's why sometimes it's not always. I mean, it is sometimes. But what my point is even the smartest of kids struggle in this stuff, and I think that for them to talk and. Because at the end of the day, it's your grades, but we're all in it together because all of us want to see you be successful.
Yes.
So if you're struggling, reach out.
Right.
You never know.
Right.
They might be like, let me put you in touch with so-and-so, and they can help you navigate through that. That's the kind of stuff that happens at the historical site. Right. It all happens because someone came for a visit came in to check in. It wasn't a lot of the things that actually happen that are big and good happened because someone just showed up in a room and said, hey, what do y'all think about this? And it turns into something.
Yes.
And that's the importance of that. So that's why I love that side of it, because it continues to keep the traditions and the good, important, big picture of why we do what we do.
Well, and we're investing in future generations. And Mike, I can't tell you how many times I've asked that. Guys, if you're listening and you're typically the Debbie Downers, we are sunshine and we're going to be client. Mike, I can't tell you how many times I'm asked, why is the Historical Society in scholarship business? And Mike, I don't even think they're oppressed upon that. They're wondering, why are we spending our time doing something that to some people they think is not about history?
Right.
Well, so let me remind a couple of things if people aren't aware of the history. Many years ago, we were given one scholarship, and it was for humanity and arts, which just for the record would be history.
Guess what? Guess what history's studying? Humans.
So, and if you haven't realized this, a lot of our people at the Historical Society, no pun intended, this happens to all of us. We're all getting a little bit older, right?
Sure.
So, the Josiah Stranges of the world are now teenagers.
Exactly.
And we're growing up, and we need to invest in future generations for the next Elvis Fleming.
Well,
if you haven't checked, if you haven't realized that, we've lost greatness. We need the next Mary Lou Glass and Elvis Fleming. Hello.
Sure.
So we are proud, and I think our board is proud. Thank you to Jason Garcia, everybody on our board. We are proud to invest in future generations.
Sure.
And they are our history, guys.
And I'm going to get a little philosophical here because I think that's part of what we're talking about. And part of it too is just how history is taught, how history is presented to us.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we grew up in an era where history was about, okay, on this date, this happened to whom, to what, to where. And I'm not saying that's not history or important, because yes, it is important. You need to know when the birth of our nation was and some of these things.
That is important. Yes.
However, I think people get so wrapped up in that side that they just assume and pigeonhole history as a collection of information about what happened in the past.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's one sliver of history.
Right.
History is everything.
Right.
It is a chronicle of life.
Right.
That is history.
Just like when people hear Roswell and they think one thing, I'm not being rude or hateful, but there's so much more.
Just because it's not modern history or ancient history or your history per se does not make it history. And I will tell you, and guess what? All your traditions, all of your culture, all of the things you do based in history because someone else did it before you.
Right. And once we realize we're impacting history.
Yes, and that's what history's studying. Not just who did what to whom, when, and where, but who's doing what and why and where, and what went well there, what went bad. oh, we're seeing something similar happen in our modern times.
Right.
Maybe we should study that and see what they did right and what they did wrong and do what they did right and avoid what they did wrong.
Exactly.
But we live in a world where we turn up. And so, to me, of all the things, and I'm not trying to
well, it's all
science and math are very, very important.
It is.
But history needs to be put in that same pedestal as science and math.
sure.
Because if you don't know it, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes, and all the science and math in the world won't bail you out without knowing the history behind it.
That's true.
And so it needs to be, and I'm not trying to diminish the other two. I'm trying to elevate history to put it on par with that.
You're exactly right.
Because it should be.
It should be. And a couple of things I want to just give a shout out. I know we've been getting some calls lately, and more schools wanting to work on different projects. Huge shout out. I'll give you a perfect example. Dior, Roswell High School, Anthony Roswell High School. Straight up called the society, hey, we're working on some projects. Can you come out? We're thrilled and honored to go to Roswell High School. We'll be doing that. We've just gotten some calls. We're partnering with New Mexico Military Institute IPA program. They've been doing some interviews coming. We are opening our doors just because your students aren't fourth graders. Of course, back before COVID, I hate to say that, we had been working on a lot of history clubs. Well, lives happen and things change. I want to challenge, we'd love to have history clubs back in elementary schools.
Time to fire that back up.
Middle schools and high schools. There's power in celebrating, unifying, getting those, and it is our job to support.
Absolutely.
It's
Reach
our
out.
job. We would be thrilled.
We would be happy to help support in any way, whether it's providing a meeting space, to providing speakers
tour,
and
or
tours,
speakers, all of the above, even partnering with Donna Blake Virtual. Hey,
service projects for the club if they want to do history-based service projects.
Yes.
We can find you some
so
stuff.
So we are limited on funds, and we're strong in numbers. And so just to be clear, scholarships, earmarked monies, they have their own account. We don't mess with that account. But we can also partner, get some sponsorships to make these things happen. It doesn't mean we're throwing money everywhere and all
to be
that,
honest,
but we're wise with the money.
I think it would be very cool if you get some of these history clubs in, and then the kids on the side volunteer as docents at our.
And that's what it is all about.
Yeah.
And that's Mike. That happened, and we've just people are getting so busy.
But that would be so great if that's a regular thing.
Once they start coming in, they think, oh, I can do what? Yes, that is part of the process. But before we run out of time, a lot of
we
fun
tend to
things.
do that.
Look, Mike and I having a problem talking.
A little bit.
Imagine that, Mike. I don't ever know when to just be like quiet in the room, like that's not gonna happen.
And to be honest, I just talk until I stop, and then you talk, and I just kind of figure it out. I'll let it go.
You're my soul.
I don't feel
brother.
I need to carry anything. I'll shut up and let her go.
That's
She'll be
so
fine.
Funny. A lot of things that are near and dear to our heart is saving lives. Donating blood does matter to us. I was asked that the other day too. Why was the Historical Society hosting a blood drive? And
why not?
Why not? So
why is it okay for a restaurant to do it, but not the historical side? Do people that like history not have blood?
Our objective is to offer this quarterly, so somebody like our supporters can just come to us. We do host that in the parking lot. Our blood drive will be Tuesday, March the 5th, from 12 to 4.
So if you're on our normal schedule, you might be due right around that time.
For sure.
Get with Amy or get with
then we'll align that.
Vitalent and get your appointment scheduled.
You can text me and make life easier. If you just want to text me, I can schedule it. You don't even have to do it. 575-915-4471 to text for the blood drive. Again, that's Tuesday, March the 5th, 12 to 4. Give us a call.
And I'm going to say it because I say it every time. Amy, getting back to that thing about paying attention to every detail. Amy likes to go a little above and beyond to all the donors that donate during the historical event. So, you like when you go and you get your juice and cookies and all that.
That's going to be more
to me, that's enough because I'm 7 and I love juice and cookies.
But that's important too.
But you also give them special little, it could, and to be honest, it depends on the day. It could be depends what's there.
That's
it could
true.
be
I'm working on some
could be
fun
salsas,
things.
could be bread,
That's true.
could be artwork. It could be anything.
Or all of the above.
Or all of the above, yeah.
Yes, and that is true. Thank you for mentioning that, Mike. Before I forget, fourth grade school tour is working on about 1,000 students. If you are part of any organization that could donate blessings for the backpacks, every fourth grade student will have a backpack. Shout out to New Mexico Military Institute, provides backpacks.
They're our official keeper of the backpacks.
They are. But we would love additional blessings. I don't care whether it's a toothbrush or whatever. Those things do have to get approved, like bookmarks, notebooks, pens, pencils. Call the museum at 575.
Anything that goes into a kid's school book thing. It has to be scrutinized.
Like
so give us time.
I'd love to. If you can help in any way, 575-915-4471 to get that.
And according to Jason,
blessings.
I think we're covered with backpacks for many years to come.
Thank you
so
for
thank you to me for that.
Above and beyond, and that's important because they're so significant to history.
Well, that's just it. Every little piece of logistics makes the big thing happen.
Yep.
And yes, that was something that was taken care of years ago. But guess what? That's an issue if it's not taken care of. Then
Exactly.
you scramble. That's one less thing you have to scramble
that's
for
exactly right.
every year because that's been taken care of. And that's how these work. It's
true.
a little thing like that, a little thing like that. And next thing you know, we got a tradition.
That's true. Mike, now we get to talk about food. Is that your favorite section?
It's right up there.
Well, we've talked about blessing kids, history, so let's talk about food.
Yes.
You can support the Historical Society, and huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse. I think it's amazing what they do. It's noted as Dine to Donate. You can support the Historical Society by marking your calendar and eating at Texas Roadhouse on Tuesday, February 20th from 3 to 10 p.m. Ralph and I were just there last night. If you want to be thrifty and do the little early bird thing before 5 o'clock, you can eat for like $10 or $12.
Yeah, to be honest,
you can really be thrifty
for the amount
or go
of
out.
the quality of food and the amount of food you get there.
Yes.
It is a dirt cheap place to eat.
And serve it. The service
for
rocks.
the quality and price you get. It's the one place where if I drop $50, I feel like I got $50 worth of food.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Ralph
I mean?
was leaving saying, "Oh yeah, no, I got it's true."
Now $50 is a little low in our today's
That's
world,
true.
but you know what I mean.
And we were also talking with them. If you want to kind of celebrate Valentine's a little bit later, because I can't imagine how busy they are going to be on Valentine's.
Yeah.
Celebrate your Valentine's later. Celebrate on Tuesday, February 20th at Texas Roadhouse from 3 to 10. Something very important. You can't just show up and assume that we're going to get the money.
Absolutely.
So you have to print out a paper or make sure they know you're supporting the Historical Society. If you want a paper, stop by or call. We're posting that on Instagram.
Okay.
And they can print that out.
Do we know?
And on the website.
And this is the question, and I'm not sure if we know because they have an app where you could do to-go stuff. Does that count during that time?
Yes, but you have to-go app. So when you pick up your food,
Bring a
just
flyer.
print out and you know what else? I was told it's easier with a flyer, but like screenshot it or just go to our Instagram or Facebook or save it to your phone if you go and just have that image to make sure they know that it's supporting. So if you get your to-go orders.
Sometimes I like to do the to-go.
Come on, who are we kidding? Kay Whitefoot, I know you're listening, and we know she's going to get food to go. And she's going to have her paper to do
You know
that.
what?
So there you go.
I love the food, but it tastes better in front of my big TV.
And there's a lot of people like that. See, and you know what? We love the service. Hey, so 3 to 10, and if you forget about it, you can still call or at 9 or
and
whatever.
don't worry, they give you plenty of rolls.
Oh,
so if you like
that's
a to-go guy,
true.
but I like to go to take
That's
rolls home.
true.
My wife and I always have extra rolls when we do the to-go thing. So don't worry, you'll get your yeast rolls.
A couple of things while I'm thinking about it, because I know we could be all day, and if we run out of time, I understand. We're still collecting kids' books. If you're doing like spring cleaning, which we are doing spring cleaning, any slightly used or new children's books. I know we've well surpassed 300. I've lost count. We're donating books. We've partnered with the community kitchen. We've partnered with Mr. Journey through the after-school program and all that. We're honored to be partnering and celebrating books, and we've gotten some great books. Like Mike, I was like, whoa. I mean, like good books. Thank you, Pat, if you're listening. But we've gotten some good books, so we're not going to do. And do not, if you're cleaning, keep the change. Call us, and we'll pick it up.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, those pennies that you guys drop off, we've collected thousands of dollars.
We have.
Just from when you guys bring a stack of pennies to us
time.
or anything like that.
We are
very thankful.
Yes.
Very thankful for that.
Yes, we are.
So
and just
help.
a reminder, we're working on, through the Roswell Economic Development, we are working on some new signage, some things. We're working on our grounds. And last but not least, it is not negative. It is a positive thing. Don't you dare make it negative. We're open by appointment. You want an appointment? If your family comes in, we'll give a tour at 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll give it at 7 o'clock at night. We're open by appointment 7 days a week.
And it's a personalized tour. It's you and your group, your intimate group. So if you got the questions and things that maybe the docent didn't cover, you get to kind of do all that.
And you know what else, Mike? We're kind of hot right now for places for senior pictures. Students are coming. Well, then it's perfect because if they're taking pictures and then we tell them about scholarships, then their parents want to become members. That's a win-win for everybody.
You give us a month here when things start turning green and the leaves start coming back, it's going to be really pretty out there.
And just for the record, if you're wondering about senior pictures, we've got a couple of members that take really good pictures.
We do. We have one lady that you wouldn't know a thing about us if it wasn't for her, because everything that's out in the public when it comes to internet and images and photos is her.
Yes, but it is that time. I love to see kids taking photos and different things. We're a great place.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions.
Don't forget our rental space, too. We have the archives facility. If you need a meeting place that seats about 75 people, it has a kitchen. If you want to do a meal or something out of there, we do rent that out for a nominal fee. So it could even host a small, wedding reception or something if it's small.
In a meeting room like conferences, we've got some things coming up.
So we could do some of that for a smaller gathering.
It's a small rental fee, and plus we just require just a little newer policy because of insurance. And by the way, if you want to support the insurance fund, so society's insurance bill went way up. If you do nothing but cut a check and say towards the insurance, we're not going to talk about that. But if you rent the archives, we just need insurance policy, umbrella policy, and a small rental. Very reasonable.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to pay a lot of money for insurance, own things that are of historical value.
Oh, my goodness.
And you'll figure out real quick that it's quite costly to insure them.
Yes.
One-of-a-kind items are not cheap to insure.
We worked hard to get our insurance, and shout out to Kim Conley. Yes, I'm going to say her name. She stepped up and helped us. Thank you, dear one, for being there for us when we needed you and helping us get insurance. We really appreciate you.
And we got less than a minute, but I wanted to say this real quick before we go. So much that it goes on at the Historical Society that's needed. That's not the sexy thing we're talking about. It's not the dinner. It's not the fun thing. It's, shoot, we got a window out. We've got a roof that's broke. We got insurance that's not working.
Up the grounds.
It's a lot of that is the job as much as it is spreading the word of history and all the things.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're getting cameras. We're doing a lot of things to protect, preserve. We're doing a lot of great things. If you need any additional information, 622-8333, RoswellMHistory.org or historydirector@outlook.com.
Absolutely. All right, we got to go.
Happy day.
It's 10
I
o'clock.
appreciate it.
Thank you. RoswellMHistory.org. Please go there. Buy books, too. Every time you buy a book, John's books or any of their other local authors, unfortunately, it goes back to help pay for things, too. So it's a good way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Take care.
Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in a pretty nice pattern for a while. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, but that's extending down into our area, so we get sunshine today. High temperatures should be right around 60. Overnight, maybe a few clouds drifting through and mid-30s on the low, and then we're expecting low to mid-60s for the afternoon high on Tuesday. We will have a little bit more cloud cover, maybe a shower Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The city of Roswell is resuming offering recycling opportunities for its residents with a new pilot program. The program will be operated by the city's solid waste department at the municipal landfill. The program, which will be free to citizens, was initiated at the direction of the mayor and city council in response to citizen requests for a recycling program. As the program gets started, it is currently accepting corrugated cardboard, grade 1 and 2, plastic bottles, aluminum cans, and tin cans. Recyclables should be dropped off at the Roswell Municipal Landfill on West Brasher Road. But also be aware, keep recyclables separate from your regular trash loads. All plastics do need to be rinsed and cleaned out. Lee County residents were jolted by a 3.4 magnitude earthquake Friday morning. The tremor reported right along the state line northeast of Jal. The U.S. Geological Survey said earthquake activity has actually increased quite a bit in the past 2 years. The strongest recent shaker registered 5.3. That was in December of 2022 near Mentone, about 30 minutes north of Pecos. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
We can all use help strengthening our marriage to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
The University of New Mexico offers affordable, top-tier education year after year. The New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship and free application for student aid may provide funding to pay for school. Apply to UNM and learn more about the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship at admissions.unm.edu.
After a tough road trip, it's good to be home for the NMMI Broncos. Come out and watch your Broncos Monday night, 6:30 p.m. as NMMI hosts the Westerners of West Texas College. The Westerners are led by sophomore Aaron Paul, who leads West Texas with 18 points per game, while the Broncos are looking for more big play from number 4, Louis Yebra. Come out to Cahoon Armory in Roswell and watch your Broncos Monday night, 6:30 p.m. against West Texas College. It's the place to be.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street's recent record-breaking streak has been snapped after Fed Chairman Jerome Powell indicated that interest rate cuts may not come quite as quickly as the market had hoped. A sell-off underway this morning. The Dow's down just over 1%. The Nasdaq, the S&P sharply lower as well. Among the numerous legal challenges thrown at former President Trump, one of the highest-profile cases goes before the Supreme Court this week.
On Thursday in Washington, the nation's highest court hears arguments over whether Trump can remain on the ballot in Colorado, where the state's Supreme Court ruled the Republican frontrunner had violated a constitutional provision. In September of 2022, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics succeeded in a legal test challenge against a county commissioner in New Mexico who was convicted of illegally entering the Capitol. The state of Maine has also barred Trump from the ballot under Section 3. That decision and Colorado's are on hold until the U.S. Supreme Court rules. Reaction from Trump supporters has been furious. Trump himself has decried them as election interference and anti-democratic. Jennifer King, Washington.
Until the southern border is secure, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says that he and his fellow Republican governors must step up to the plate.
We are banding together to fight to ensure that we will be able to maintain our constitutional guarantee that states will be able to defend against any type of imminent danger or invasion.
Abbott, flanked by 13 fellow Republican governors in Eagle Pass yesterday, he writes on X that President Biden, it is your turn now to enforce the law and secure the border. By tomorrow, parts of California could have received up to 6 months' worth of rain. A second atmospheric river presenting the danger of life-threatening flooding, mudslides, damaging winds, and widespread power outages. Wall Street, the Dow down 408 points, Nasdaq off 129. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
There are warnings of an increasingly dire humanitarian situation in one East African country.
Once again, hunger is stalking Ethiopia. Crops have failed after successive droughts, and millions remain displaced by a civil war that ended more than a year ago. Getachew Reda, interim president of Tigray, told us a famine was unfolding. The Ethiopian government denies there's famine and says it's tackling the drought. Andrew Mitchell travelled to Tigray to assess the situation for himself. He said there was no famine now, but there was a risk of one engulfing the country unless more help were given by a world distracted by conflict elsewhere.
The BBC's James Landale. A drone attack on a base housing U.S. troops in eastern Syria killed 6 allied Kurdish fighters late on Sunday. There were no reports of casualties among American personnel at that location. News and analysis, townhall.com. Oklahoma's oldest Native American school is teetering on the edge of extinction.
Officials say poor financial decisions and inconsistent leadership threaten what was once a haven for indigenous academics. There are no students this semester at Bacone College in Muskogee. Spring courses suspended after a lawsuit crippled the school's finances. The property has been put up for sale twice to settle its debts, most recently in December, but both auctions were called off. Litigation is pending, and it's unclear what may happen next. Jason Walker reporting.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has confirmed he is weighing the possible dismissal of the country's top military officer. This comes as Ukraine grapples with ammunition and personnel shortages following a failed summer offensive. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3
Crossing their laws
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Your Monday's going well.
Dude.
Huh?
Okay, so I'm usually really careful about my YouTube algorithm. I don't let a lot of people into my YouTube and mess around like my kids or my friends because like a lot of people like their Netflix or their Peacock or whatever, I prefer my YouTube curated very specifically so that when something happens, I know immediately.
Yeah.
This morning, as I refreshed my YouTube homepage, I saw the first trailer for Back to the Future Part 4.
Are we doing a back?
That's what I said. It literally had me. I went through the gamut of emotions over the past 15 minutes. It was why. It was why first, but after watching the trailer, it left me excited. Like I can't explain how excited, but also slightly confused.
I'm experiencing those things because I'm trying to is Michael J. Fox involved? What is going on?
Okay, so here's the trailer. Tom Holland walks into the barn where Christopher Lloyd is standing by the DeLorean with it like up, and he goes, "What's going on?" Like in the thickest Tom Holland, no changing my voice accent whatsoever. Okay? So he covers up the car and he goes, "Great Scott!" You know, that whole thing. Cut to Michael J. Fox and I guess this kid's mom. Maybe. This is the only way I'm going to accept that this is why it is. Because it's Michael J. Fox with his American accent. It's who I assume was his mom, Michael J. Fox's wife, with her American accent. And then Tom Holland, who I am to assume is his son. Because in fairness, in the movie, he looks a lot like Marty McFly. Like I don't know if it's just his facial structure. He looks a lot like a young Michael J. Fox. But
well, then the mom would have to be Elizabeth Shue.
I didn't. Maybe I wouldn't.
Unless they went back to the first.
She didn't look like Shue. But anyways, what's her name? Gosh darn it, Leah
Thompson.
Leah Thompson's in it.
Yeah. She was the mom.
Yeah, she was the mom. At the very towards the tail end of the. Well, that's different. Towards the tail end of the trailer, what's his face pops up. The dad.
Marty. I mean, George McFly.
Yeah, George McFly. I can think of his
was
actual
it the actor?
Name. Yeah, it's him.
That's odd because he wasn't in the second one.
What's his face?
He only did the first one.
Right, but he's back for this one. So it's not a reboot, but it's a continuation of the story.
Because him in the second one is not him. It's a super. They CGI'd and there's only a couple scenes where the dad is George McFly's in the second one, and it's all not actually him. It's an actor
but no, this was him. Unless they CGI'd him in or something. I don't know.
Reeled him back in.
But
Crispin Glover. That's his name.
Crispin Glover. Thank you. God,
he hasn't done anything in a while.
Yeah, but a couple of things that I was like, okay, first of all, Christopher Lloyd's still alive, really, and he looks fantastic.
Well, and they aged him in that show.
Well, yeah, but he's always been an older gentleman,
right?
For as long as I've been alive.
I don't think he was that older when he did it originally.
Right.
They just made him look older. Like I think he looked more like Jim Ignatowski Taxi.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd back then, and then Doc Browned him up. And so over time, he's actually aged. Now he just looks like Doc Brown.
Yeah, now he kind of just looks the part. He aged into his original character.
Yeah.
But almost all the original cast is back. A lot of them were back. I didn't see if Biff was back. But
what's he got going on?
I don't know. But the one thing that drives me nuts is, am I to suspend disbelief long enough to think that American Michael J. Fox and Elizabeth Shue or whoever it is had a child with a British accent? Like, I know, that Tom Holland can do a fantastic English accent or American accent. Fantastic.
He's Spider-Man.
Spot on. Yeah. He sounds better than most Americans do speaking American. Why? This feels like a choice.
Maybe it's part of the story.
Why is he British in this?
Maybe they grew up in England.
But other than that,
I don't know.
It does leave me very excited because there's certain it's a trailer obviously, so there's certain cut to scenes, but it's like Tom Holland in the vest, Tom Holland on stage at the dance, the license plate still says out of time. It's just there's all these little little peppered in references. So at the end I was very excited, and all it said was coming soon.
I'm curious. I wonder if Zemeckis and all them are involved.
Well, it's Amblin Entertainment.
Okay, so that's
you know what that means? Oh my God, do you know what that means? It's going to be on Apple TV Plus. That sucks.
I got that.
I know you do. That sucks. If you're going to go to all this trouble, they better do a theatrical release.
I imagine they will.
With Tom Holland, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, Crispin Glover.
Unless it's awful.
Yeah.
And then they'll go right to Apple Plus with it.
Yeah.
Unless it's awful.
But it looks really good.
But I can't imagine if Spielberg's involved, it's going to be awful.
It's total fan service, but it looks like it scratches all those itches. You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious to see. So I wonder if, the scene with Tom Holland, is it the 50s barn? So was it 1954?
No, I am to assume this is like today or maybe recent past, because it's supposed to be Michael J. Fox's son.
Right.
Like he's going through the house at the beginning. Let's wake up, everybody. Hitting on doors and stuff. So that leads me to believe it's, his son.
I don't know. And that's the beauty of Back to the Future, is they can change whatever they want because they just put a wrinkle in the timeline and changes everything. Because there's the whole story of Back to the Future 2 and the life and how, the Biff, but because they alter history, that all changes. So it doesn't have to, you know what I mean? So they could literally say he was raised in England after whatever, Shu and Jay Fox went to England and raised their family or something.
That
I
could
don't
very
know.
well be.
I mean, there's
what they need to do though is they need to put a scene in this movie where Michael J. Fox, Marty, sits his son down and says, "Son, listen, be careful with time travel. It'll give you Parkinson's." If they lean in that much, I'll be like, cinematic tour de force. I'll literally be that scene with Shia LaBeouf in the movie theater where he stands up and applauds his own work.
Well, now they're going to have to modernize it too, because like one of the big things in the Back to the Future movies was they could always tell if they're altering history right or wrong by looking at photographs and seeing if the people are returning or disappearing. No one carries photographs around
I really
anymore.
hope they do something with like a phone.
Yeah, I
like
think it's going to have
some
to be.
kid pulls out his. Maybe they said it in the '90s. Some kid pulls, or the early 2000s. He pulls out his like flip phone.
Oh,
and
sure,
it's like hot technology. I don't know when it's set, but
yeah,
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
Idly curious.
Coming soon to Apple TV Plus.
Imagine it might be good. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't talk all hour about Back to the Future.
We could.
We could, but we should.
We're not going to.
Crystal and John are here to talk Roswell Seed with us. Crystal's got new hair. Good for you. Looks good.
I smelled Rice Krispie treats. I'm like, Crystal's here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you smelled vanilla filth.
So we'll get an update from John and Crystal here in just a bit. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in a pretty nice pattern for a while. High pressure is parked in the central Rockies, but that's extending down into our area, so we get sunshine today. High temperatures should be right around 60. Overnight, maybe a few clouds drifting through and mid-30s on the low, and then we're expecting low to mid-60s for the afternoon high on Tuesday. We will have a little bit more cloud cover, maybe a shower Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 68%. Winds are currently out of the east at 3 miles per hour. Actually, for the most part, not too bad this week. 61 and sunny today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Increasing clouds tonight. Overnight low of 37. South winds 5 to 10. Mostly cloudy and 63 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 43. South winds 5 to 10. Wednesday is going to be windy. They use the term breezy. I say windy. Partly cloudy, 65 for a high. Breezy with south winds 10 to 15 early, 20 to 25. Gusting as high as 35 by Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 36 and breezy. Sunny and 63 for Thursday, sunny and 62 for Friday, and Saturday, sunny and 61. Slight chance of rain Saturday night and Sunday. Highs in the 50s on Super Bowl Sunday. All right, 9:16. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk Roswell Seed with John and Crystal Noble on the other side. Don't go away.
We can all use help strengthening our marriage to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and all of southeast New Mexico. The University of New Mexico wants you. UNM is ranked in the top 1.5% of all universities in the world, and the only Research One university in New Mexico, with over 200 academic programs and endless opportunities. UNM is truly a world-class university. Define your future at the University of New Mexico. And UNM has increased the number of scholarships for 2021. So now is the time to apply. Apply today at unm.edu. Now accepting applications from Southeast New Mexico.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, today wearing their Roswell Seed hats, John and Crystal Noble, back with us. Good morning, John.
Morning. How's
He's
it going?
already annoying Crystal. It's not even started the interview yet.
Hey, it's her fault. She gave me, what'd you give me?
Vanilla latte.
He's hyped up on the caffeine
Vanilla
and sugar.
latte. Yeah, cracking a cup.
It
vanilla
doesn't
latte.
have any caffeine in it. It's just sugar.
It doesn't. Yeah, just sugar.
Well, it's got a placebo effect.
Apparently, yes.
Well, are you feeling better? Last time we had to reschedule because you were getting the crud that everybody else
man,
had.
I got laid out. Normally, I'm only sick for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
But now that I'm
older,
seasoning.
Yes. Sucks when you sneeze and season like that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer now, so.
Everybody was sick at Roswell Seed.
Yeah, we actually.
Yeah, I remember she was telling me like the entire staff got sick.
For the first time, and that we know of in 126 years, we had to close the store due to illness.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like through all kind. I'm
sure that took almost an act of Congress for that to happen. But,
no, actually, Mom came in and looked at me and said a few choice words. You look like, and I'm like, yeah, well, I feel like.
Right.
And she was just all like, why are you here? And I'm like, well, who else? No, nobody else is here. Everybody else is gone. It was just me.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is a lot of your employees and things are probably of that age that we just come in sick.
Yeah.
We lived in a world where they don't tell you to stay home sick. Unless your arm's falling off, you better get your butt in the work.
If you're not bleeding or, something.
Yeah. And so, and now that's not the mindset anymore. You go to work and people look at you instead of like, oh, you're going to get everybody sick. Go home.
Quarantine, and stuff.
Which I'm fine with as long as this is what we're really doing. Don't tell me to go home and then punish me later because I did go home.
Well, I look at it this way. I mean, I can be miserable at work or I can be miserable at home.
Yeah.
I'd just be miserable at work.
I can make others miserable too.
Yeah. At home, I get, here, you need to take this. What's this? Don't worry about it. Just take it.
Just put it in you. Yeah.
I figure, you know what? If I ever die of mysterious causes, it's,
Yeah,
here, take this.
But my wife does that to me, but I need it. Like, I will not do things like that on my own unless
he won't either.
She physically tells me to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He will not either. Tell him, did you take your medicine that I left on the counter?
Yeah, I'm just as bad. She's just to take it, and Normally I'm like, I will, or I did, or yes, but I would not, had she not say, did you take your meds? Did you? I'm 7 when it comes to that kind of stuff. You got to teach me everything.
He's like 4.
Yeah. I think it's just dudes in general. That's why we need wives, because we need to be handled. We
you needed a handler.
We need to a point, but we don't like to be completely micromanaged, just to a point. And then at some point, you got to let us stomp and say, I'm a man, I got to do it.
That's right.
Alone, and then we do it and screw it up and you fix it. But you got to let us do it every once in a while just because of the man thing.
Or the whole, if you would have listened to me, that wouldn't have happened scenario.
Yeah. We're going to blow right
You
through
know,
that.
that's only happened like a couple of times.
Anyway.
She remembers every single one.
Oh, yeah, every one of them. But on the other hand, when she does something and I'm like, I told you that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
You know, no, we're not allowed to talk about that one.
Let it go.
We don't do anything wrong.
Right. Right.
And that's marriage. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, point in case she wanted to put, she wanted the rustic look. So we had these old feed troughs that we had. And she's, I'm going to plant. And I told her, no, don't do it. Galvanized steel, it's going to heat the soil up too much. It's going to burn the plant. Well, I know. I was like, hey, you know what? Knock yourself out. You go mix the dirt. You go do everything. You plant them. Okay, I will. 3 weeks. Just twigs. Burned up.
I think they were in a
I
bad
didn't know.
location.
I only work in the industry. You know? So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to default to her on the dogs and cats and you on the plants.
Yeah, and
the
I
grass.
do, you know.
But I've planted stuff in galvanized steel pots before. Just not that big.
I have no idea. I'm
So-
dumb in this department.
Yeah, so I mean, the galvanized steel, it's a cool looking rustic type deal, but yeah, the galvanized holds heat.
Chemistry.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You know, make things hotter does not work too well. Unless you plan on cooking an egg out on the soil, go for
Right.
it. You
A
know?
lot of times you see them, they're wood planters or ceramic.
Right,
usually.
not a whole that kind of like repels the heat.
Well, it's porous.
Yeah.
You know, ceramic and wood, they're both are porous
Right.
materials, breathing. They can breathe and stuff. Where metal, not so much.
And like the people now that they're planting everything in like the lick tubs, you know, and stuff. That's a cool idea as long as they can keep it within, you know, a shady area.
Right.
Because if not, that plastic's going to heat up. It doesn't transfer heat as much as the metal does. But
Does it
still
insulate? So, like in the winter, if you put it in there, it would be better. But no matter.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just
No.
curious. Maybe it'd be better in the winter.
When metal gets cold, it gets cold.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know if it.
So I mean, I tell you know that
With the
everybody
dirt
wants
in there.
that, you know, that rustic look, and it's like, okay, rustic look, okay. And I tell them, go down, get you a couple of bales of straw, put some straw around it, you know, make it look rustic, but you're giving it insulation as well.
Sure.
You know, if you only have like 4 inches of the metal exposed, that's not going to do very much damage, if any at all. But when you have that whole thing exposed, and of course, you know, it was in direct sunlight for most of the day.
It's like a pot of water. It's going to boil eventually.
Yeah,
You put heat on
eventually,
it,
yeah. But no, don't listen to me.
But we learn the hard way sometimes. How did you learn it? Did you boil something in a pot too one day and learn that you should do it that way?
No, I had the inside edge. I have customers.
You let them burn it up.
Come
You tell you
in and
about
tell.
it.
Yeah, come in and tell. Hey, don't do that. That didn't work for the crap.
But getting back, that's actually the beauty of Roswell Seeds.
Yeah.
And this is what we get back to every time. When you have a business that's been around 120 or whatever, what's the number now? 100.
This year's 126.
126.
Yeah.
You know, after 126 years of knowledge of the region and what works, and you know, and the industry in which you're in, yes, it's evolving and changing because technology and science and stuff gets involved. However, it doesn't. At the end of the day, 1 + 1 = 2.
That's it. Yeah.
And those the things that you guys have been doing with the soil here and the dirt for 126 years. After a while, you tend to learn a thing or two over generations of people messing with the dirt and the soil, and they know what works and what doesn't, and they've got it down to what part of town. If you're on the north end of town, how you treat your soil is going to be different than how you live on the south end of town.
Yes.
Because the makeup of your dirt is completely different. Think of it as a patch full of ingredients. That dirt is full of ingredients, and there's different ingredients in the dirt in the south end versus the north end and downtown, and it will negatively and positively impact what you're growing depending on what you're growing and how it is. And so you need to do things to either enhance or counteract whatever's going on in your dirt. And that's where the Roswell Seed people are experts. You can go down to the big box store and everything's going to be done to what general standard. All right, this is kind of what works for everybody here. Roswell Seed's like, where do you live? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, your dirt's going to be more this way. You're going to need fertilizers and things that react this way. Where you're going to need and that's where Roswell Seed's different than any other place where you get the same kind of things that Roswell Seed sells is that 126 years of people working this dirt reporting back, hey, you shouldn't do those in a big metal pot.
Don't try that.
It's literally 126 years of that.
Well, and then people don't realize too, when you were saying like sections of town, back in the day, grass was a luxury. So only rich people had lawns.
We do live in a desert.
Yeah. And
in the day.
People also have to realize back in the day, we didn't have EPA. Most of the time, if you had an automobile, you didn't take it to a shop. You changed the oil. What happened? You just pop the oil drain open, let it drain out on the ground, cover it up with dirt.
Yeah.
We got people on the south end of town that, I don't even have weeds growing. You got bad dirt. I can pretty much guarantee you exactly what had happened.
Yeah.
And there we go. How do we know that? Well, we were talking to people and, these old timers are like, oh yeah, when I lived out on such and such and such and such, we just popped the drain plug on a tractor and just let the oil drain out on the ground, fill it up, and then you going. And it's like, well, what do you do? What about the ground? It's like, well, we never thought anybody would ever, build a house on it.
Yeah,
type of deal.
And we probably didn't know the impact of what that oil had on the soil. Now that years later, studying, they're like, oh, that's a huge bad idea.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be doing that.
Well, it's like, well, it comes out from the ground. Yeah, but it's not processed.
Right.
It's
a little different.
So, they process it, put it back on top of the ground, kills things.
So does corn, but you don't plant cornbread when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, never thought of it that way.
I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, it's all the time. Everybody always, some people think, I'm like trying to find out, well, why do you want to know where I live? Well, it's not like I'm going to come sell you like Estee Lauder or anything, I need to know.
Yeah, we're not Kirby vacuum cleaners.
Yeah,
people in the
I want to
time.
know the section where you're at, what's going on and
what
stuff.
What kind of dirt your house is sitting on so we know how to deal with it.
And like, it's funny when we get people that come in and we have old pictures up in the shop, in the store from back in 1911, earlier than that, because it shows the old cattle drives going right through Main Street.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like that in there. And when our store was built in 1911, the company opened up in 1898, but they were farther north. And which is hilarious because when they talk about we were farther north, we were actually only like a block or 2 blocks away from where we are right now, but that was north,
right? But the town was smaller.
Yeah, it was way smaller,
a lot smaller then. Yeah.
And when our store was built, that was the farthest thing south, commercial.
You're out in the sticks.
We were out. That's what they told them. You'll never make it. It'll never make it. You're too far south.
Yeah.
And look at what's south of us now.
126 years
126 years. I mean, and there's stuff way farther south than us.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Oh, yeah, well.
Still kind of out in the sticks. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Out the sticks in the heart of downtown Roswell.
Yeah. we're like not even in the happy zone.
You're in the Main Street corridor still. I mean,
but Main Street kind of stops at like First Street.
But technically, you guys are still in the corridor.
We're still in the corridor, but nobody ever comes out that far.
Yeah, there's a lot less festivals and together. It's usually a couple blocks north of you guys.
It's between First and Second Street.
But you'll be treated down there because then you go down there and then head on over to kind of back to because there's kind of more eating and shopping behind you guys, but it's not kind of in the main part of the Main Street
there's
district
Thai and then where's our favorite place? El Toro Bravo.
Yeah.
That's our favorite place to go.
Kind of where you can walk there if you need.
Yeah, that's just caddy corner.
Yeah.
So, you go get there and get all filled up, and then you get your exercise. Running across 4 lanes of highway.
You kind of got the beauty of both worlds, where you're close enough in the Main Street corridor, but you don't get all the traffic and hustle and bustle that some of the parts of the Main Street get.
Yeah, we don't. No, thankfully.
But fortunately, that's not a problem for you guys because you're a business that's been around 126 years. And you're a destination business, you guys aren't really an impulse buy place. Like you're
coming to us for a reason.
Yeah, people have an issue, or they want to do something, and they've got a project, and they come see you. They don't walk by on a whim and say, "I'm going to grow a tree today."
Yeah. Wonder what kind of crap they got I could throw down on the ground. Multiple.
Yeah. So I think that it serves you guys well, but. That's what I'm saying. And of course, we're getting into that time of year where it's going to get warmer sooner, and you're starting to prep and get ready for planting.
So we're
grass and
already like in spring. Like we're not gonna have a winter.
Kind of a little goofy. So.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a winter. If we have one more cold snap, like real good cold snap, that's gonna be a surprise. But I think we're gonna have a very, very early spring and an extremely hot summer.
So is that going to turn the timetable up for people doing what they need to do?
It will. It will.
Like push it up. Like we're talking like weeks, a month. What are we talking?
Weeks at least.
Weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, unless something happens within about 3 weeks.
It is New Mexico. Hold my beer. It's dated.
Yeah, but for the north part, us Southerns down here, it's like desert.
Yeah. You guys haven't gotten the moisture on the south end this year. And
No.
it's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
Usually the south end gets more rain than the north end.
Yeah.
Because it all comes at once, usually. But
yeah, it does. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we got people already coming in. I got weeds coming up. It's like, yep. Yeah. And
we've had weeds all year round at the Humane Society.
I'm about to say, I don't think we never lost weeds.
No,
Yeah, no.
nothing really.
So like we did not have a winter.
Which means, which means you need to manipulate and get that stuff down, because dead weeds or dry weeds in a desert, that's fire issues.
Oh, easily
It's
fire
also
issue.
receding as they're blowing down the road.
It's really it's bad to not keep that stuff. And this is the time of year when it's easy to pull and easy before the roots get strong again.
Yeah, it rakes out of the ground real easy now. But
now
and that also is going to bring up the fact of insects are going to come out way early, as well. So I mean, we're kind of telling people, you guys are doing the garden, start prepping now, because before you know it, it's we're there, type of thing. Generally, we kind of tell people, don't put anything in the ground until about after around April 15th.
Okay.
Because we always get a freak frost in April, but being that Easter is so early this year, that freeze is going to come earlier. We're thinking. We've read the almanac. Good luck. I always kind of tell people that, farmers and lawyers got together and got drunk and came up with this book, because some of the stuff on it, you're kind of looking at it going, no.
Right.
But some of the stuff actually, I will attest to,
Sure.
It's real.
Well, it's
For the early birds, like if they're already starting their starts inside their house, they're probably going to be able to transplant them into a bigger insert, so that way they can be the 8 to 12 inches before going into the ground.
Okay.
They can start doing that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have...
But don't put it in the ground
Don't put it in the
until
ground.
April 15th.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or it's going to probably be a little bit
coming
earlier.
today-ish or tomorrow.
Yes, everybody that's been calling and asking about onions, they're supposed to arrive today.
Okay.
If it happens, maybe tomorrow. But they are in this week.
All right.
I mean,
check back if you want the onions.
I have one little old man. He's been calling me every day. Hey, hi. Are they here? They're not here yet. Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. Yes, sir. It's like,
So,
no problem.
For whatever reason, Valentine's Day and onions come together.
Okay.
So plant your onions.
And they're a great starter if you're starting your own vegetable garden.
Yeah.
It's a great one to start with. Things like garlic and onion and root vegetables like that, because they're so versatile foods that you're going to use in a lot of different things. And plus, they're a little more forgiving to grow than some of your other things. So if you're trying to learn on the fly, those are probably a little bit better to learn on. No, not necessarily.
They're not as forgiving as you would think.
Okay.
I've only successfully done onions twice.
Really?
Okay, well, you're not everybody else.
I know. I'm saying, like, even if you do step by step,
Yeah.
the simplest things can still go wrong.
Gotcha.
So always expect to not have such a great turnout, even if you've done everything perfectly, step by step, followed instructions.
Okay, you know what? That was you and the bread and the donuts. Sometimes it doesn't work. You can't be bringing that analogy into gardening and stuff just because you did step by step and she made donuts the other day. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And they came out
Well, even bad donut's a good donut.
Oh, well, yeah. They were still a little doughy.
It's like bad pizza's still pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, yeah, you went step by step by step by step.
So what I'm saying is onions are very hardyful, but sometimes they don't grow
They can
very
be
well.
finicky.
They can be.
Or they don't grow to the...
I've never been able to get garlic to grow. but I've only tried it like 5 or 6 times. But garlic hasn't been a good grower for me.
No, just haven't. But they're so versatile. That's what's.
I don't have the green garlic thumb.
I bet you I can get it.
Because if I was,
probably
to get a vegetable garden, you kind of. I mean, obviously you grow things you want to eat yourself.
Right.
Why would
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do that?
Mm-hmm.
But I always like to pick things that you can use in multiple things. Like garlic, you put in almost everything.
I know. Garlic goes in everything.
And everybody that wants to grow squash, limit yourself. Because squash will take off and go.
And that's just it. Everyone, and to be honest, of all the vegetables that most people give away because they just have too many
squash.
Is squash or zucchini or something in that family.
Okra,
yeah.
zucchini.
So, I'm not a squash eater, but
now that being said, I'll take a good hunk of your squash because I do love squash.
Really? Oh,
my wife will cook it. Like I'll eat it fried, or she'll cook it with like a boiled theme with sugar.
Yeah,
it's a limper, softer, but sweet. And I'll tear that stuff up, man.
See, when I do squash, I do it on the grill.
Okay, I'll grill it that way too. I'll eat it in any form. But she showed it to me in a way where it's literally with like sugar and water, and you boil it in the pot.
Really?
And it comes out mushy and soft, but it's sweet and I don't know, man. I just shovel piles of it in my mouth. It's pretty good.
What?
I'm not a squash or zucchini person, so when they tell you, "I'll make zucchini spaghetti,"
yeah, I have
I'll
had
just
that.
take my noodles.
I have not.
Where they take the
they bake the zucchini.
Does it taste like a noodle?
Kind of, yeah. It's got a little bit of an earthier tone to it, but it's actually
like if you
complements
put like sauce
everything.
And made it like
they make it just like spaghetti.
And
it's called spaghetti squash.
Is it really healthier? I guess it's less carbs.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I mean, it's like it's not
less
like
gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the gluten and carbs because it's not wheat based. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we get people. They come in all the time. Hey, have you tried this? Does it look like I've tried that? It's kind of like, come on.
No. I've tried the triple cheeseburger.
Yeah. It's like right now. I mean, right now we got chickens coming in.
February 19th.
Yeah, that's when the chickens are coming.
Okay.
The first batch.
So
do they come as chicks or eggs? Or
no, they're all pullets.
How do they come?
Yeah, they're all chicks. They're all pullets. They were born about 2 days prior to. Well, actually, it's the day before.
Okay.
They were born the day before shipping. So when we get them, they're very, very small.
They're
but
new to the earth.
Pullets, for people who don't know, that means they're rooster free. They're all females.
Okay.
Up to we're not doing it. It's coming from the hatchery. We order pullets. Sometimes, you do get a rooster. Sorry. But when you go to the big box stores that have all these baby chicks and those are what they refer to as a straight run. So basically a straight run, they just kind of take their arm and push all those chickens into a box. They don't sex them. And if you ever seen chicken sexing before, it's not an easy
saw it on TV
thing.
once.
Yeah, I saw it on Mike Rowe where they squeeze it.
What I thought.
It's so
dirty jobs.
Dirty jobs. Yeah. So I mean, you guys, you need to really kind of watch out for that. Yeah, they might be 75 cents a bird, but you don't know what you're getting. There is a way to test it on the
feathers.
It can be a
crapshoot.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we've had people come in,
So really, is it numbers are the key there? You just buy a lot to hope to get several.
With chickens, to make them thrive, baby chicks, you have to have a group of them, 6, no less than 6.
Okay.
Because they have to huddle with each other for the body heat, even though you have the heat lamp and stuff. But they don't thrive in small quantities, so you can't just buy 1 or 2 baby chicks.
You definitely can't buy 1. You have to at least get 2.
Okay.
Because 1, it doesn't know what to do. Basically, 2 can kind of figure it out. 3 will figure it out. 4 will figure it out, plus some, and stuff like that.
You still need a rooster in the hen house, don't you?
No. For them to lay eggs, no.
Common misconception. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta have
you
a rooster.
only need the rooster to
make more babies.
Make more chickens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Roger.
Yeah.
Got it.
And people don't realize, like, when because we can get roosters, or we get baby chicks, we get geese.
Baby turkeys?
Yeah, we don't do, we do guineas. We don't do quail anymore. We get turkey and stuff like that. We used to, but the quail were so fragile coming through the mail service. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're tiny.
You know, yeah, and half of them or 3/4 of them would be dead by the time we get
I'm sure
them.
they probably break a neck.
Yeah.
Or something.
So,
but if you want like the specialty ones, they are a specialty order.
Yeah.
So that's not something that they have on hand regular.
Advance order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come by, talk,
and we use like if you're coming like let's say you want some geese, and we'll order you geese. We use baby chickens that we put in with the geese because the baby chickens will teach the geese how to drink water.
Nice.
Yeah. Learned that 100 and something years ago.
120 years of experience paid off there.
Yeah. And, there's a lot more people that, in town now you can have chickens. I think it's 6. No roosters.
Yeah, the city ordinance allows you to have it and everything else.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
I thought it was 6.
It's 5 chickens, no roosters.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're like that because they're the ones that make all the noise.
Well, I mean, a hen will do the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll actually be a macho hen.
Don't tell your neighbor that.
Yeah. Got an
other
alarm.
hens, they're fine.
Yeah, got an alarm clock. If we had one, it would crow at like 3 a.m. It wouldn't even wait till sunup. Because we can't have a normal animal at our house.
Right.
There will not be any chickens at our house.
Yeah.
Or roosters.
But I mean, those are coming in. The big majority of the orders and stuff, I am getting that in February. So everybody, soils, fertilizer, everything that we're low on, that'll be coming in. We should be hopefully pretty covered by the middle of February. Some people were coming in, they were asking about various seeds. We germinate all of our seeds in-house. It's just something that has always been done.
Sure.
Any numbers that we don't agree or that Dad doesn't agree with, we send off to get state tested. Those have all been sent off. We're just waiting on replies back.
Results and everything.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when you look at different things, the industry standards. Industry standards for like seeds are extremely low. Pepper seeds like 55%. If 55% germinate, you can sell it. It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't believe in that.
Right.
Pretty much Dad is on that.
You guys have always been above the standard.
Yeah, 82. Dad doesn't like anything below an 82. Depending on what it is, it's gone.
Sure.
And so I'm waiting on. So people that have been coming in, hey, yeah, okay. Well, most of all that seed has come in now. The new seed. I just went on ahead and ordered it, and if we get a good germ back on it, then congratulations, we got more seed. But most of all that seed has come in, and the rest of it is coming in. It should be in, I'm hoping, this week. So everybody's garden seed-wise should be very well much and taken care of.
Good deal.
Flower seed, everybody that's been coming in for the flower seed, we were out of a lot of flower seed. That should be coming in this week as well.
Okay.
So that all should be covered.
Playing a little catch up on the flower side.
Big time. But trying to find flower seed, you
guys are still dealing with the post-COVID supply and demand. it's not nearly like it used to be, but it's not as good as it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's getting, but there's been, if you're not paying attention to weather and stuff like that that's going around, we've had a lot of crop failures where we get a lot of seed.
Yeah. The weather of the world's been faced.
And we got our onions in a little bit early only because our distributor that we get our onions from, he called us and was all like, hey, we're going to be snowed in next week. You want these now? And we're like, yeah, because, we don't know when you're going to dig yourself out to be able to send us, so they're coming in just a little bit early. And that's the reason why is they're expected to get hammered with snow. And it's like, yep, we'll take them,
Well,
so
the way our weather's going, it might behoove you to get a little bit early right now too. So, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody asks the same thing. And
there.
it's, I can give you temperatures. It's Mother Nature, people that want to plant their grasses and lawn seed, fescue and rye, do it now. Bermuda, you got to wait till summertime.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's a warmer weather grass.
Yeah, get your ground all prepped right now for the grasses.
Because the work you do now in that department will make it so much easier.
Yeah.
When it's time for planting and growing, and when you do start to the time to plant and grow, you'll see much better results if you prep the area. But it's no different than anything else.
Yeah.
When you do a project or something, if you do your prep work first, usually the project goes a lot easier. No different with gardening or planting. It's the same thing.
Exactly. And we tell people, because they'll come at, well, your guys' grass seed is kind of expensive. Yes, it is, but it's 100% pure. So I always kind of tell everybody, if you're not going to do the hard groundwork or anything, then go to the big box store and pick up that lawn food.
It's like putting It's like putting $10,000 rims on a $200 car.
Exactly, more or less, yeah. You know, I mean, you know, we pay extra because if you look on a bag of, like, let's say lawn seed, there's a word on there. It's gonna say noxious, and it doesn't fill out right. It's supposed to say noxious weed, and there'll be a percentage. That percentage is of how much weed there is per pound of that seed. So if you're buying a 40-pound bag of grass seed for $5.95, and that noxious weed count is at a 32%, there's 32% of a pound of that is weeds.
Yeah.
Ours, we pay extra for because it goes through an extensive cleaning process. There's 0. So that's why we always tell people, do the groundwork, you know, get it done, you know, till level before you do anything.
Because this seed has been filtered to avoid as much weed issues as possible.
Well, and it's funny because I had this gentleman who came in, of course, he'd read a lot on the internet. Yeah. And how do you know? We have seed cleaning machines.
Yeah, you guys do it yourself.
Yeah, we have seed cleaning machines.
You're not a place where people go and buy bags of seed that came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
The stuff you guys it's germinated, it's raised, grown, it's all done in the Roswell Seed Company. It's all your own product.
And what's hilarious is you know, I talked to Dad about, you know, back in the day. And like he said, back in the day, these guys would go and they would go to various places and they would buy what we refer to as the tailings or the screenings. That's the stuff that gets kicked out while the seed cleaning process is going on. So it's not bad seed, but it's not maybe the right thickness or the right size or something like that. These guys would go and buy that and then bring it to us and have us re-clean it. And then we would get clean seed out of that, and then that's what they would sell.
Nice. Okay.
And it's been double cleaned where, So it's the same aspect on when you see that, well, whoa, I just found this fescue seed for half of what you guys sell it. Yeah, look at the noxious. They have to put the noxious weed count on there.
Yeah,
and stuff. And so that's where you look at. You're going to be saving money, yes, but like I explained to people,
you're not going to be saving money because you're going to be buying all the weed sprays and
you're
weed
going to be
killers.
spending your money on the back end on the other products you're combating with the stuff because of a lesser quality.
Yeah, I'm either going to sell you the seed or I'm going to sell you the spray.
Yeah,
make your choice. You know, don't buy. You know,
seed's a lot cheaper than the sprays are.
It's no different than everything else in life. You get what you pay for, and it's you look at liquor and beer. There's whiskey's not just whiskey. There's your top shelf and your bottom shelf whiskey, and it's based on how it's produced and it's no different here with the seeds. They've got top shelf seed is what they got. It's been filtered. It's not having all the crap and particulates that the government says can be there to a certain percentage. You're like, no, we're going one above that,
right?
And filtering that. So yeah, it might be a little bit more, but it's going to if you do your part right, it's going to work better than whatever other bag of cheap stuff you bought at a big box store. I guarantee it. If you do your homework and do your thing. Now, if you do what you do and just dump it on the ground and throw some water on and walk away, then you're probably not going to find so much success there. But if you do your homework and constantly work with it and keep watering and weeding and doing, the tending of this, you're going to have a beautiful lawn at the end of the day. If you do your homework, just like anything else.
Oh yeah,
nice lawns don't happen by themselves.
You
have to put the work in.
I love it when the people come in and it's like, does my neighbor shop here? And it's all like, I don't know who your neighbor is. Well, they live on such and such and such and such. I still don't know who your neighbor is. Well, their lawn is blah, blah, blah. And it's really not. Okay, 50-50 chance. I don't know.
Just say yes.
Yeah. It's like, how can I beat them? Okay, this is what do you got?
Neighbors? Yes, I am.
And then it
Take
starts
pictures of their lawn so that way we know how you can beat them.
Maybe you ought to give away signs. This is a Roswell seed lawn. And you can just put them on the front yard.
But it's hilarious when they come in and they say that, and then it starts. Well, what side of town do you live on? This is okay. Okay, now what kind of grass do you got? I don't. Does it go dormant in the wintertime? Or does it stay green? No, it goes brown in the winter. Okay, so you got a Bermuda. Okay, yeah, but I need to take care. No, you can't do anything right now. And they look at you like, I just came in here for help. I want to do something. It's like, look, you're going to be wasting your money.
Right.
I'm telling you right now. Wait till this time, and then this is when you start doing this.
There's a time and a place when some of these things
can't I do this now? Yeah, you can if you want, but you're just going to be, people right now, well, I got fescue in Bermuda lawn, mixed lawn. Okay, well, my fescue, you want to fertilize it now? go ahead.
Right.
I can't. I could just sit here and tell you this is the parameters you play within the boundaries.
You got cake batter and you stick it in a broken oven.
Yeah,
it's not going to bake that cake no matter how hard you want it to. Till the oven gets fixed.
Yeah,
that's how it works. No different here. You can fertilize it, but if the temperatures aren't right, it's not going to do what it's got to do. It's just going to sit there and die.
Well, basically, yeah.
So
I didn't do it.
No.
Okay, I might have.
We gotta go.
Why?
Time.
The time.
Oh no, I'm not going.
Yes, you are.
Yes, no, I got work to do.
Yes, you are. You're going.
But let's wrap this up here.
Yes.
So right now, real quick, coming in.
Onions are coming in. We will have all the other seeds that we were missing or
Check
low
back on the flowers. They're coming in slowly but surely. As
They'll be here.
Getting ready.
Chicks will be in at the end of the month, or middle of
February.
middle to the end of February is when chicks will be coming in. Potatoes. People have been calling, asking about potatoes. They'll be coming in around the middle of February as well, along with what else is coming in? I got so much stuff coming in. I don't even know anymore.
This is the reason y'all have to come back each week.
Yeah,
spring bulbs.
Yeah, the spring bulbs will be coming in around February as well.
Okay.
All the winter bulbs are gone. Sorry. So yeah, everything's coming in within at least the next month or two.
Good deal.
So that's when when we're getting the stuff in, that's when you should be kind of thinking and getting ready of going.
That's
so
right.
We got some new sprays that's going to be for killing weeds and stuff like that. I'm bringing in some different kind of a fertilizer. It's going to be less tree, more grass.
Okay.
At a really good price. I tracked some down. Actually, it's one of our older providers. We kind of touched base with them again. They were kind of in that dark area. Now they're back out of the dark area, so we're going to be bringing in their stuff. Prices have come down on some things. Some of our herbicides have come down. One of them's come down a lot, which we're jumping up and down about right now.
Good.
And then now we're just waiting to see what else is going to happen. The fertilizer that we have on hand, I don't know what the next round is going to be as far as if it's going to. We're hoping it's going to come down. It looks like everything else is starting to kind of come down. Seeds have actually kind of gone up. Couldn't tell you why on that. I don't know, crop
always
or
supply
whatever.
and demand. It's
Yeah,
probably less seeds and more people want them.
Yeah, and there are some seeds that I did not get only because the price is just so damn ridiculous.
Yeah.
So darn ridiculous. Darn. Sorry.
Basically, what you need to do is pop in each week. Kind of, this is the evolving season. I mean, it's always evolving. But
Yeah.
This is a kind of a fast and furious this time of year as we get ready to get into spring here and getting ready for spring. So check back each day, each week.
Yeah.
Roswell Seed here. Call in or come by and check back what you're looking for. But now's the time to start doing your prep work to get your lawns and gardens ready for spring plant and spring gardening here. Now's the time to do it. The weekends are pretty nice. I know it's going to get. I know this weekend might get a little windier, but
it's going to get a little bit windy.
Might be spend a couple hours getting your soil ready here for planting in a couple weeks.
Yep. So. And like I said, we accept all phone calls. There's never a stupid question. Don't even start with that. Because trust me, I can tell you some questions that I've gotten that'll beat yours out by 1,000 feet.
We're all experts in certain things, and so if you don't know anything about lawn and garden, what you want to do, then you talk to the people, and if you don't know anything about it, you ask dumb questions like why you need a rooster to have chickens and eggs.
And then we got our seed catalog too, and it shows month by month what to plant, how much to plant, when to plant, and all that. We got all that covered. 126 years of trial and error. A lot of trial, a lot of error.
So you get good at it after a while.
Yeah,
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
All righty, thank you.
Good luck not going to the doctor.
I'm trying.
And we will see you on Thursday.
I'm trying not to.
It is 9:56. Quick break before we go. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Boeing has discovered another problem in some of its 737 fuselages. It may delay deliveries of about 50 planes. It is the latest quality gaffe to plague the aircraft manufacturer. Chairman Jerome Powell says the Federal Reserve remains on track to cut interest rates 3 times this year, a move that's expected to begin as early as May. He also tells the CBS News program 60 Minutes the nation's job market and its economy are strong, with no signs of a recession on the horizon. McDonald's says global same-store sales, and sales at restaurants open at least a year, rose 3.4% in the October through December period. That was lower than Wall Street was expecting. Still, McDonald's revenue rose 8% to $6.4 billion in the fourth quarter, meeting analyst expectations. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop farm and ranch shop with everything you need for your livestock and farm. From seed and feed to equipment, medicine, and more. Plus, hardware, farm and ranch supplies, and a fantastic selection of apparel, too. Roswell Livestock knows and cares about livestock. That's why they only stock brands that you know and trust, including Pearson, Saddle Barn, Ariat, and Justin. And Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a Purina certified expert dealer. Trust your neighbors that know livestock and the people that keep the farm going. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd.
After a tough road trip, it's good to be home for the NMMI Broncos. Come out and watch your Broncos Monday night, 6:30 p.m. as NMMI hosts the Westerners of West Texas College. The Westerners are led by sophomore Aaron Paul, who leads West Texas with 18 points per game, while the Broncos are looking for more big play from number 4, Louis Yebra. Come out to Cahoon Armory in Roswell and watch your Broncos Monday night, 6:30 p.m. against West Texas College. It's the place to be.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of the day. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Senators have released a highly anticipated bill that pairs border security enforcement policy with wartime aid for Ukraine, Israel, and other U.S. allies. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he won't support a